don't know where to look.
I know, right?
We're so out of our element today, but there we go. Shout out everyone. I know this looks a lot different to y'all because this is the first time we are actually uh, doing it together in a different setting,
Yeah.
sharing a microphone, the whole shebangy bang. But welcome to my home.
Yes, your lovely home.
Yes, but it's always exciting when we get to do the show together and we do it in different ways. So, it's always something new for us.
Hmm.
But we hope everyone had an amazing week. Thank you for tapping in. I just want to remind y'all real quick, this is That Part Podcast 305. All right, where we talk all things political. And, we've just been having a great season so far. What's up, Pooh? I see you. But listen, um, this one was really special. This episode, we'll get into it. I'm going to be asking Janae a lot of questions because I wasn't there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Janae conducted an amazing town hall with a partnership with Black Men Win and many other organizations, including Florida Rising and quite a
Yeah.
few others that you'll get into. And to bring y'all some of the mayoral candidates for the city of Miami election that's going to be coming up in November. Um, I wasn't able to be a part of it. Unfortunately, I had a prior engagement that I had to see to. But my brother, former Senator Dwight Bullitt, held it down.
Yes, he did.
You know what I'm saying? And of course, my girl Janae, she always delivers.
Mhm.
So that's what's up. And a big shout out to Munch, who did the production.
Yes, shout out to Munch, James Mungeon.
Yeah. So what you're about to see is going to be a replay of that town hall. So we're gonna watch it with you, and then afterwards, stick around. We're gonna talk about what we saw, what she experienced. This is my time. This is my first time watching it actually.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I have no idea. Just like you, I'm looking forward to be in for a treat. So thank you for joining us. This is That Part Podcast 305. Of course, we ask everyone to subscribe. It's really important to us. We're almost up to 300. We need to get to 300. So if you have not subscribed, how about my dumb ass didn't subscribe?
First of all,
I know. Don't do me. Don't do me. I beg you.
why
It
you
was,
ain't
I
going?
know it wasn't
We
until
was
I
what if
know.
we was one subscriber away
I
and you was
know.
the defining factor?
I apologize. But I subscribed today, you know what I'm saying, with my dumb ass. So you're not that, but I'm asking that you please subscribe. It means a lot to us if you haven't got a chance to do it because it slips us sometimes. We get busy. Just hit that subscribe button right now, real quick. And then after you do that, please hit the share button so you can share this information. Now, what I would say, although we're talking about the mayoral event, I live in Miramar. Janae lives in Miami Gardens. So it doesn't directly affect us, but I think it's important that we be a part of this and we learn and we listen and we understand. So when these do come around to our cities, or when it comes to something that we all can vote on, we'll know what to ask, we'll know what to understand, we'll know what to look for. So let's call this a practice run if you don't live in the city of Miami.
I mean, but here's the thing: even if you don't live in the city of Miami, the city of Miami is the seat to me of South Florida. Is literally the name of our market. So what happens in the city of Miami kind of dictates what happens throughout the market. So you want to know who's in leadership there because everybody, no matter from Palm Beach to Florida City, we all interact, do business, shop, do something in the city of Miami.
Center,
yeah,
Heat
exactly.
Games,
Heat games, Bayside, all these things are there. So Overtown, downtown Miami, Brickell. So even if you don't live in that area, you're probably doing business, you're probably visiting family, you're probably doing something in the city of Miami. So yeah, you may not, they may not directly affect your millage rate or your taxes or your city services, but things that you do, entertainment, business, in the city of Miami, takes place there. And you definitely want to keep an eye out on a city that's of that size and that influences the culture and movement of Miami-Dade County and South Florida as a whole. So yeah.
Some people even consider the mayoral seat in the city of Miami one of the most powerful seats in our state.
Oh, it definitely is.
Yeah,
No doubt about that. Like it's definitely one of the most powerful seats to
yeah.
have. So, and it elevates you to a national platform as well. Like
Hmm.
City of Miami is an international city, so you want to pay attention. Also, to as someone who moderated this town hall, you're in for a treat. There are some spicy moments. There are some funny moments. There are some insightful moments. Shout out to the candidates who did show up. Please let's keep an eye out on who showed up and who
Yeah.
shows up in our community. This was specifically curated for the people of Overtown for Black Miami. And so there are 13 candidates, but only 8 showed up. So yeah. And then we're gonna get into
That part.
So pay attention to who shows up in our communities. Also, too, a little birdie told me that there are a couple of candidates, and I'll come back with their names. There have been 4 town halls or debates held in the Black community in the city of Miami, and there are, I think, 3 candidates who will not or has not shown up to those
I
those
think I know
events.
who one of them is.
So yeah, so just keep in mind when you go into that voting booth, City of Miami voters, who shows up for you. And to me, if somebody won't even show up during a town hall or something where they're not elected, imagine what they're gonna do when they get elected. That weighs a lot to me.
Of course, especially if it's in the Black community specifically, and you're choosing not to show up. It's like, well, we don't see you. You know, that's the message that I would receive. Like, well, we don't see
definitely. You got to come
know.
talk to me. You want this vote?
Right.
So it's definitely it's layered. A shout out again to Black Men Win and all of the partners going Overtown, All Like Minds Media, NAACP Miami-Dade chapter, Florida Rising, Just Vote Period, That Part Podcast, High Low News, in the Overtown Children and Youth Coalition. There all the organizations that were a part of producing and empowering this event. And so also too, it was important for us to share this event live and for free for people who could not attend in person, but they still could get this information. This is a part of the work that we do and why we do this work. So definitely want to make sure that you guys like, share. If you weren't able to attend in person, please share this with somebody who lives in the city of Miami or who will be affected by what happens in the city of Miami, because you want to hear what these candidates have to say.
Absolutely. I'm so excited. Can we get started here? And because I'm excited to see, like, for real in real life.
Yeah. I was just enjoying us being in the same energy, in the same space.
As a matter of fact, please in the comments, let us know how you feel about us being in the same room
yes,
together.
I want to know how y'all feel.
Yeah, if that's good energy, we'll try to create more of those shows. But we trying to keep it interesting. We're also having fun too when we kind of do these things. So, Tontis, you're too kind, sir. You're too kind.
Thanks for sharing me tonight.
That part. All right. So, without further ado, big ups to our show producer Derica, who's going to hit that play button and get us started. So, just before we get it, just kind of one more time, let everybody know what they're going to be seeing right now.
So you're going to be watching the town hall event of the mayoral race for City of Miami candidates. It took place at Jackson Soul Food. Shout out to the staff there that allowed us to be there. They were so gracious. They have free food and everything. So it was at Jackson's in historic Overtown. This took place last Tuesday, and we're showing it tonight for free for the community. So you have this information to make the best decision for your life when you go in that voting booth. So check it out.
Enjoy.
Good evening and welcome to Overtown. I want to thank you all. Welcome everyone to Overtown. We're here in historic Overtown. You know, Miami's a wonderful city, one of the fastest growing cities in America, one of the largest cities in America with over nearly 500,000 residents within the city limits. Yes, we know Miami's famous for great neighborhoods like Alapata and Buena Vista and Wynwood. You know, all those great neighborhoods and Coconut Grove, and I'm a native of Liberty City, Brown, and we also have Little Haiti. But Overtown is one of the original and oldest communities in all of Miami-Dade County. It is crucial, it is important that you understand that and you recognize that. So as one of the co-founders of Black Men Win and one of the organizers of this wonderful event, we want to make sure. We actually sat here one morning and decided that we want to have this event not just in Overtown, but at Jackson Soul Food. So please give a round of applause to Jackson Soul Food, its staff and its ownership, because for those who do not know, for those who've never been here yet, note that Jackson's is closed. This is a wonderful establishment for breakfast, but the restaurant is closed now. But the ownership and team of Jackson know it's important to open its doors this evening for you, for these wonderful candidates, to kind of make sure we understand what's at stake here in this upcoming election. So thank you, Jacksons, thank you to the team, and thank you all. I want to acknowledge a few people. I want to acknowledge, I just saw them move around. I just saw Metris Bates from the president of the Miami Women's Club, also the executive director of the Overtown Business Association, Vernon C. Martin from the Miami-Dade Chamber. I see Terry and Sharia Elliott from the Arc of the City, here. So I see a few friends, family members that we want to also acknowledge. I want to take this time to introduce our moderator for this wonderful event and make sure everyone gives him his attention. And we do everything in decency and order. Let's make sure that we listen to the moderator. We allow the candidates to express themselves, to answer questions as they are given to them. So I'm going to introduce our moderator this evening, Senator Dwight Bullard.
Hey, everybody. Oh, yeah. Here's what you like. Thank you much. To some of the candidates, we got to stop meeting like this. I feel like I keep moderating. So hopefully this will be the last time. As Ed pointed out, we're in historic Overtown. There's deeper meaning on why this particular town hall is critical, but more importantly, why this neighborhood is important. 1896. The folks up here are competing to become the mayor of the city that was founded in 1896. It was also in 1896 that this community was established as a safe haven for Black people, having deep historic roots. We now know it as the Harlem of the South, but a storied history of this neighborhood. And so a lot of the concentration and focus of today's forum is going to be around Overtown. So I want to lead with that so folks understand that even though you are running to be the mayor of the city of Miami, folks want to know how Overtown factors into that. And so again, when you hear the questions, they're going to be Overtown specific. They're going to be kind of significant in that way. So I just want to leave that as a caveat for folks. So just laying down a couple ground rules. Like many other established forums, we're going to go ahead and allow each candidate the 60-second opener. Do we have someone keeping time that they can all see who's going to be in the back? Anyone? Okay. Could you stand in the back though, Ed? I appreciate you. So Ed's going to be the timekeeper. 60 seconds for the opening. We're going to go into some pre-existing questions for folks. You all will then have opportunities to answer those questions. Some will be directed at all candidates. Some will be structured where we'll ask specific candidates to answer those questions. There will be a few rapid fire yes or no questions. At this point, many of you are seasoned and should know about this. And then we also, if time permits, want to make sure that we have a moment for some community questions. When folks walked in, if you wanted to ask a question, you should have received a 3x5 card to ask that, to write that question down so that we can be in receipt of those, to ask those questions later on in the course of this. All right. Yes, you see these candidates here. Are there more candidates? Absolutely. There are going to be 13 candidates on your ballot. We invited all had the opportunity to confirm. These are the ones who are the confirmed candidates. I want to thank you all for being here this evening. So that deserves a round of applause that folks, did their thing. All right. So we're going to go ahead and get underway. And we're going to start here, right here with the opening. Did they give you a microphone?
No, yeah.
Oh, we have shareable microphone. Okay, we're going to do it like the Temptations back in the
Check,
day.
check. 1, 2, 1, 2.
We're all going to rotate to the one mic. I love it. So we're going to start here. Of course, 60 seconds. Please keep an eye out for the timekeeper. We'll work our way down, and then we'll get underway. Thank you very much.
Sure. Hi. My name is Christian Ceballos. I'm a candidate for City of Miami Mayor. I was elected in the past as a councilman for Miami-Dade County twice, and I'm a business person. I've been a general contractor and a builder for many years. Originally, I came from Ecuador 25 years ago, and I work as a pizza maker, as a waiter. I was a bus driver at one time, and then I started working for construction. I graduated from business and business administration and economics from FIU. I created my company back in 2012. Again, I've been a business person for many years, and I think I can bring a lot of change to this city, a lot of progress, a lot of more investment and more business, and more, of course, more creation of employment. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hi, everybody. First, I'd like to thank God for giving us this venue, first and foremost. Some of you I've seen and I know before. My name is June Savage. I am your hometown girl, resident, born and raised here at Mercy Hospital. Now, how do I relate here to being mayor of the city? I have international business experience. I am a real estate agent for 25 years. I'm bilingual, and I have common sense governing. I've been at City Hall as an activist for more than 15 years, and they know me there by name. But why am I here today in Overtown? Because my hands are clean. They are not filled with developers' money. We need to save Overtown from the developers because they're knocking at the door. I'm your girl to do that, and that is my promise to you. This should be the cultural arts hub of Miami. Our children deserve that. We need that here in Miami. We are losing the arts for our children, and that's a way to express themselves. Thank you, and remember, vote June.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Just one thing I forgot to mention, this is actually being simulcast. So although I appreciate the desire to walk around, we want to try and stay relatively stationary because the camera wants to capture everybody. So we'll go to the next candidate.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I want to thank God that I got to be this age, 76. But I haven't lost my energy, nor have I changed my phone number. 305-496-8484. Okay, the 8484, some of you know what it stands for, okay? So remember it. It's my son's nickname when he was little. It's Titi, T-I-T-I. Don't tell him I said that, okay? He's getting kind of big. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be talking about the most important single thing that we can do right now to reduce the cost of housing, which is to increase the homestead exemption to $500,000. Keani McGee wants to do it to $1 million. It's not quite doable, but $500,000, 80% of the people in Miami wouldn't have to pay any taxes at all. And then we're going to be talking about transportation. Should be free as it is in Miami right now. Anyone who wants to charge you for riding the Metro Mover, okay, without mentioning names, but they're up here, okay, don't go for that, okay, and or for trolleys. Thank you.
My name is James DeSantis. I want to thank you for having me. I'm running because I believe that Miami is at a turning point. I believe that we need a government that is free of corruption. I believe we need leadership that is bold and responsible and serves to serve all the people of Miami. I'm an attorney. I'm a defense litigator. I've worked with defending individuals and small businesses here in Miami, and I believe in fairness and justice, and I want to bring that to City Hall. So thank you.
Good evening, everybody. Ken Russell. You may recognize me as the District 2 Commissioner, the Chairman of the Omni CRA, and the creator of the Coconut Grove CRA. But you ain't gonna recognize me tonight because I am here as a different person. I am not the legislator from 10 years ago. I'm here for reform. because we are sick and tired of the corruption that keeps Miami from being what it should be. We are sick and tired of not having real affordable housing. Just hearing numbers, we're producing thousands of units. Is it for you? You got me down. Let's go. Number one issue in affordable housing is keeping people in their homes. Our current mayor is just bringing all this money to Miami, yet still raising our taxes. Where is the guardian for us who have lived and grown up here and were born here? Can we stay here? That is the fight we have. But we cannot solve it with all the corruption in City Hall. So I am back for absolute transformative, disruptive reform, changing our charter, real term limits, and bringing real affordable housing. Thank you.
Well, hello, everybody. Hello. I'm Eileen Higgins. I am proudly the County Commissioner for District 5, and I represent about a third of the city of Miami. I've been doing that since 2018. For folks that know me, they know me as the person that gets things done. I've built more units of affordable and workforce housing than anybody in the city of Miami's bothered to do during these past 7 years. I'm the only commissioner that's gotten federal funding for 2 mass transit projects, both that serve our Black community. South Dade Corridor is going to help our Florida City residents when it opens 2 weeks from now. And most recently, I got $500 million to build a train that'll go to Little Haiti and onward to North Miami Beach. Small businesses are the backbone of any neighborhood. Overtown is no exception. You've got the business people, you have the ideas, you must create programming. Over the past few years, I have invested over $3.5 million in the small businesses in District 5. I intend to expand that program throughout the city of Miami. When the city hall is in chaos, absolutely nothing gets done for the people. I'll be pretty calm when I'm mayor working for you.
Sorry, Pat. All right. Can everybody see this?
Yes. No. Yes. And
it's one of my favorite shirts that I canvas with pretty much every other day. But I say that to say this. Brother Bullard brought up a point about 1896. My family has resided in this city since 1896. My dad went to the original Booker T, Towner for life. My mom went to Northwestern, grew up at Liberty Square, pork and beans for some of y'all. And I grew up in Lemon City, AKA what they call Little Haiti now. All right? I am not a millionaire. I'm not, y'all. I am not a recycled politician. I'm not that either. And I am not one of the people that have one of these political dynasty last names. But I am a nonprofit leader. I am a sports executive director. I am a civic advocate that has advocated and passed policy in this state, in this city, and across this nation for 20 years, y'all. And I am in this fight for one reason only. And that is to lower the cost of living for working class Miamians. That is to make sure I'm putting money back in your pocket. We're going to lean into innovation. And I'm going to finally do something about enhancing our neighborhoods. And it starts because I believe in pouring life into the dreams and goals of our people.
I'm Daddy. Oh, I never. Okay, Dutch.
Can't believe I have to go back here. Hello, everybody. Good evening. It's an honor to be here. My name is Alyssa Crocker, and I am running for mayor of the city of Miami. I got into this a few years back after my father was killed at North Shore Medical Center. I know a lot of people call it the death hospital. That's certainly what I call it. When I went to get justice for him after they admitted to killing him, I was denied due process, and it lit a fire in me. So I went to the Senate, and I have been advocating legislation. I recently was able to pass HB 6017 and SB 734, which is the Florida free kill law, which means essentially if you're unmarried and over 24, you don't have minor kids, yeah. So that's what I've been advocating, and that's why I'm doing it, because North Shore. I realize there are a lot of problems in our communities, and I don't think people know exactly why those problems exist. So I want to fight for everybody, and that's why I'm here today.
All right, so as you see, there's a much more vivacious and beautiful person standing next to me. Thank goodness. Because again, I I'm not blessed with all that, but I want to introduce my co-moderator for tonight, who's also making it happen on the live stream because she is the co-host of the That Part podcast with our mutual friend, Papa Keith, who I'm actually standing in for this evening because he couldn't be here. But I want to introduce to many of you, but also just reintroduce to others, none other than Miss Janae Tate of That Part podcast and High Low News. Janae.
Thank you, Dwight. And actually, this is pre-recorded, so please let people in the community know if they couldn't make it out. We'll be streaming this live next week, Wednesday at 8 p.m. for the community to see as well. So again, my name is Janae Tate. I'm the co-host of That Part podcast with Papa Keith, who is on 103.5 The Beat. A lot of you guys may know him. And I'm also, too, the founder of High Low News, which is short for Hyperlocal News. And we're South Florida only news site for Black and Brown millennials here in South Florida. So thank you guys for having me. And we're going to get started with our questions. So you want me to kick it off?
Kick it off.
Yes. So definitely want to say thank you to the candidates that confirmed to be here. That means a lot to be here in our community. I know other people like to go other places, but to show up in our communities when you want our vote is very important. So thank you. So the first question is, and we'll start here, community engagement and governance for all candidates. In the past 2 years, what direct engagement have you had with residents of Overtown, Liberty City, or Little Haiti? Please share examples of conversations, partnerships, or initiatives where you have listened to or worked with residents. And this is for everyone.
Well, that's a really good question, and that's one that I really love. In the last 6 years, I have visited more than 2,000 business. We have been going all over, and every time you visit a business in Overtown or anywhere in the city of Miami, you're going to find that there's a lot of businesses, I would say 90%, that are complaining that every time they're trying to open a business, it takes more than a year in order to open. Sometimes when you see a sign that they put up a business and they're 6 or 8 months later, they're actually putting the sign down, it's because they run out of money because they're paying rent. And nobody, the current government has done nothing in order to solve that problem. So a lot of businesses are going away, they're simply not opening, or when they open the business, they have already lost a lot of money. So that's my engagement, not only in Overtown, but in many parts of the city and the county. More than 2,000 businesses, a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of artists, a lot of sports people. So that's the experience that I have with the community engagement.
Next candidate.
Okay, so there's different ways that I have been through the community. I am a cyclist and I ride through this community. So I'm boots on the ground and I see where the homeless are. I see where there's no ADA compliance. I see where businesses are suffering. I'm the one that's at City Hall fighting for all you every Thursday for the past 15 years as an activist. Raise your hand if you know Lotus House Women's Shelter. Okay, Constance Collins. Last meeting, she had to beg for money. And I stood up, see, she did, I'm not telling you the truth. And I stood up and I told that commission she was an angel from God and that we should not have her begging there at City Hall. So you need someone that stands up for the people that are helping the people in your community. So that's what I've done for Lotus House. I will stand up for Lotus House because it's a program that works. So that is what I've done in the most recent. Thank you.
Since about 40 years ago, I started my involvement in Overtown. You might not remember Eufaula Frazier, but we cleaned up an area that is now the park, Gibson Park. And since then, you see me here probably more than you see me where I live. Because I go to the library here, play ball at Booker T, have my lunches at the place right down the street. I'm sorry, Jackson's soul food, but I go to a little greenhouse all the time where I see Chris Norwood and I visit his arts museum, which is amazing. But more importantly, we took to heart the idea of developing Overtown. Southeast Overtown Park West, the first thing they told me was a Philadelphia guy that was in Miami, I'm trying to remember his name. He said, that's $1 billion for that. And I said, well, how much cash do we have? 40 million. We're gonna use tax increment financing. Sounded complicated to me, but you know what? In recent years, the bonding capacity, thanks to Neil Shiver and thanks to the commissioners before, Commissioner King and Chairwoman King, appointed chairwoman by my son, by the way. So, we kick-started Overtown Park West. The recent survey of affordable housing being built is 4,000 units, new housing and rehab. No one has ever done anything quite like that. If any of the people up here say that they built 4,000 units, make sure you check that out because it's not quite correct. So my involvement will continue in Overtown. I am a resident, part-time resident of Overtown, and you'll see that going forward, as you always did when I was mayor from 1985 to 93, and commissioner.
We've reached time. Appreciate you.
I'm new to Miami. I moved here about 3 years ago, so I haven't had much experience here in Overtown, but I do plan to. I ran for mayor because I didn't want to sit on the sidelines and see the dysfunction and corruption in City Hall, which affects all neighborhoods. I promise I will fight for all neighborhoods because they all deserve to be treated fairly. And so I'm making that promise, and I want to thank you.
Thank you. I left office 3 years ago. And since then, I've been working a lot in lawsuits against the city of Miami, testifying against commissioners who have wronged the city. Using your tax dollars, more than $30 million have been spent defending the unethical behavior of elected officials in the city of Miami. And I talk to people all the time about that. I started running back in March, and Overtown, Liberty City, Little Haiti were absolute important targets for this campaign because I really, truly believe District 5 is going to decide this race. There's a lot of political reasons behind that around the way that the city votes and is gerrymandered. But I'm telling you, the strength of your voice is incredibly important, and that has changed the way I have decided to campaign and who I'm talking to and who I'm listening to. So I've personally visited about 1,250 doors so far over the last 6 months. I've walked over 62 miles. I'm visiting churches every Sunday. St. Mary's was very welcoming on my birthday. And there's a lot of folks who have been pushed out from those churches, from the neighborhood. They still come back on Sunday, but they can't live here anymore. And nobody's asking me, hey, what's your party? What's about this issue or that issue at the national? People want to know if they can live here. And that's what I'm listening to, and that's what I'm bringing solutions on. Yep.
Yeah. Well, I'm in Overtown a lot. As I think a couple of folks can attest to. I see Trina nodding back there, Touching Miami with Love. What a wonderful showcase, and what the work you do with your children. The business community here is amazing. Metris, thank you so much for ably leading and always asking us to do something to help grow the small businesses here and keeping us smart on how we can improve the permitting here. Overtown Youth Center. Absolutely critical, not just for our youth, but also because they're doing health outreach, not just for the children and the young people, but for the family in general by having completely innovative telehealth solutions at Overtown Youth Center. Another thing that's a little hidden at Greater Bethel AME is a workshop that's the result of my driver's license suspension task force. When I took over, and when I got elected, and Commissioner Admi Edmondson asked me to start a task force to address suspended licenses, over 600,000 people had their license suspended, not because they were bad drivers, but because they were poor and couldn't pay their fines and fees. I set up a process to totally change the system to work for the people so they could get licenses back, so they could go to work without fear of being arrested. Well, you all know which neighborhoods those arrests and those suspended licenses were in. They were in Overtown, they were in Allapattah, they were in Liberty City, they were in Little River, on and on and on. I'm proud to say that we have gone from, in 2022, over 900,000 suspended licenses. We're down to 250,000. And in Overtown itself, down 74%. Liberty City, we've done a little bit better. We're at 75%. Let's see, what else? Immigration. Proud supporter of Flick and all the folks that help make sure our Haitian American brothers and sisters who are being so mistreated and so mischaracterized have access to the American dream. Had a great time actually looking at super cool art when we renovated and opened the Lawson Center. And up in Liberty City on Mr. Terry Street, obviously a big supporter, our friends at the Roots Bookstore, First Black Bookstore. We're about to help them with a book fair. And then last but not least, I actually made a film called Interstate, where Overtown is featured prominently with Mr. McQueen. And it is in a national tour of film festivals. You can see it on Friday night if you want to at Chris's Gallery.
All right. So again, we want to make sure we're respectful of the time. Brother Ed, wave to him again so they can see you, just so no confusion. When he calls time, we need you to bring it in for a close. 90 seconds.
All right. I just got very. Thank you. Thank you. Just in case, let me reintroduce myself because I don't think I said my name before. So I am Michael A. Hepburn, y'all, right? So I'm the first Black person in this city to ever run a bona fide viable campaign for mayor, even though it's been founded in 1896, and we've had political power in this city since I was a baby, right? So I just want y'all to think about that for a little minute. But as far as what have I been doing in Overtown, Liberty City, and Little Haiti, I don't even know where to start. I can talk about the multiple agreements that we help our residents negotiate with which is called community benefit agreements. When we have this developers come in to build these buildings, we need to be centered around that conversation. I have definitely advocated and assisted a lot of our residents to understand how to use their voice. Over the last 3 years, man, I have paid personally to make sure that kids that graduate from Booker T, Northwestern, Miami High, Central, Jackson, Edison, was able to go to college, so because I covered their tuition and fees, and even partnered with FIU for something called the Golden Scholars Program, which we recruit right here in this city, in this town, in this neighborhood, right? I already helped fund and start a couple of neighborhood associations. I am a graduate of the Miami Police Department Citizens Academy, and one of the things that I do with our police chief and our commander here in Overtown is I have us look at being more data-focused, intelligence-led of how we're going to implement public safety. Actually, I try to push them to have real conversations about how we're going to reimagine public safety in this city, and that is based upon stuff that took place in Overtown. And dang, time go fast. But yeah, so much, y'all.
Moves quick. It's not a social construct here, it's an actual event.
So I do a lot of walking around in heels. It's not very fun in these heels, that's for sure. I go around and I pretty much say, how can I help you? What can I do? And people tell me what's bothering them. I can't promise that I'm going to fix it. I don't know if I can, but I certainly try, whether it's giving someone $1 or a water bottle, or if when I went to Annie Little projects and Miss Jeannie's apartment had been flooded for a week and I just met her, but she said she'd been calling and calling. And I'm like, well, let me go fix this for you. And I went over there, and then I went to the housing and development meeting, and I made sure I certainly pitched a hitch about it. And this is kind of what I do. I can't say that I've done a million things that are big, but I do a lot of little things all the time. As far as big things go, I'd say my legislation that I advocated in the Senate, in the House, that was a big one. Every time I'm in there, I mention Liberty City and Little Haiti, because we're zoned for North Shore. And, you know, don't take me to North Shore, take me to Jackson. You should be able to go seek emergency care and not have to worry about coming out. You can't go in with a headache and come out on life support. Something's got to give. And so it's incredibly important. That's, clearly, that's a big passion of mine, is healthcare reform. And so I have been fighting for all of these communities, I think a lot longer than anybody realized, certainly long before I ran for mayor.
Thank you. We're going to stay on that end with this next question, and this for all the candidates as well. The city of Miami provides free trolley service in 13 areas. Of these, 11 operate on Saturdays. However, Liberty City and Overtown are the only 2 areas without Saturday trolley service. According to recent data from the City of Miami Transportation Department, weekday ridership in Liberty City is higher than the 6-day ridership in both the Health District and Coconut Grove areas that do have Saturday service. As mayor, how will you address this inequity and ensure that Liberty City and Overtown receive the same level of trolley service as other neighborhoods? Starting.
Sorry. So I think a good place to start is the same word I use and everything I say, advocacy. You have to advocate for anything that you really want. Nobody is going to do it for you. You can ask a million times for something. You're not going to get it until you fight for it. So what I would do is certainly advocate. I would advocate and I would make noise. I do that. I make noise until people hear what I have to say. And so I'm going to make noise until something changes. It's not optional for me. Accountability and equality are non-negotiable. It has to happen. So you make sure it happens. And I can't say exactly what I would do in that moment because politics, things change every 5 seconds. And there's a lack of transparency in our government. So you never know what's going to happen next. But I do know that no matter what happens next, it's not what if, it's even if. And even if it does, I'm going to keep pushing for it and until I get it.
All right, y'all, let me give y'all a purview of what a helper administration looks like. First day, I'm going to fire our current city manager, appoint a new city manager to allow me to elevate a efficient, effective, and accountable government, AKA actually run the city the right way. Trolleys. I've been complaining about this issue for about 3 years, y'all, all right? We do not have a financial revenue problem in the city of Miami. Our budget is more than $1.3 billion on the operating side. Don't even let me get started on the capital side, all right? So it's not a money thing. But we continue to give our money to the same contractor that runs that trolley, even though they have ADA complaints and literally be skipping folks that have wheelchairs and different assistant needs, but they continue to get refunded year after year after year. So I'm gonna tell you this, that contractor won't be coming back, right? The money that we actually do have towards our transportation initiatives, because in the city of Miami, the only thing we do control at this point is the trolley. So we are definitely going to invest heavily in that. We will have weekend service in Liberty City and Overtown and other places as well. That is easy. Because in this city, y'all, we talk a lot about equality, but we don't talk about equity, okay? If you a size 9 and you a size 8, but I give you a size 10 and be like, oh, well, you got shoes. Does that make sense to you? If you a size 9, give me a size 9. If you a size 10, give me a size 10. Just don't be giving me something and talking about that should work for me when you know it doesn't. And that is going to change in my administration. So the trolley piece, that'll be taken care of week 1. But what's more importantly is understanding how we're going to utilize the other money that we have in order to effectively have equity throughout this city, including here in Overtown.
That's time. Thank you so much.
No, okay, this works. Well, some of you may be familiar with a couple of years ago, the county implemented the Better Bus Project, which was a strategic redesign of our bus transportation network. The idea was to bring more frequent service to more people, and the redesign of that network does just that. Over 300,000 residents have better access to buses. As part of that project, we analyzed the City of Miami's trolley system and came up with a number of recommendations how for the same amount of money, they could give better service to everybody and make the routes work a little bit better. You know what the City of Miami Commission and the mayor did with that? Nothing. They did absolutely nothing. So there's actually a plan for trolley service to be better in Overtown, to be better in Liberty City, and to be better everywhere else. As Dwight was mentioning, as Senator was mentioning, we can realign these trolleys to make sure we have Saturday service in places like Overtown, in places in Liberty City. We also need to make sure the routes are right. And that's what that project that I already did 5 years ago is sitting on a shelf. I'll be sure to resuscitate it the minute I'm elected. The transportation system has to work for every neighborhood. You need a government that cares about every neighborhood. You do not have that in the people that have been serving on your City of Miami Commission now, nor in the past.
Yeah. Basic public transportation should not be a popularity contest or a political decision. This is people's lives and their ability to get to work, to home, to their healthcare needs. And so it needs to be made on a proper decision. It's not a profit-based decision either. We don't charge money for our trolley. But these political decisions seem to rule everything in the city of Miami. And if your commissioner isn't advocating for the routes they need, and the administration isn't giving them the routes they need, or they're fighting with other commissioners over who gets what trolley, it ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna work. So we, at one point, had considered, do we need to start charging for the trolley? We would never do that. But the commissioners decided, we'll raise advertising rates, but nobody can advertise if they've ever done business with Cuba. I'm like, this is not how we build a transportation system in the city of Miami. But this is what we're dealing with. This is what the retread, recycled, revolving door of politician dynasties, families that have been around forever.
Nasty.
That's what we get. So by reforming not only our administration, and Michael's right about needing a whole new administration that makes decisions in a better way, but reforming the way our charter helps us elect our politicians. That'll bring in the new blood with good ideas that make urbanist decisions around transit appropriately and not around popularity.
Thank you.
Public transportation is essential for equity and for every city and every community to have. I would ensure that they do have a Saturday trolley service in Overtown and Little Haiti. I can't think of why they wouldn't have it. Every community should have fair and accessible public transportation, and I would make that a top priority.
The reason we have free trolley service is because my son insisted on it. And the reason that it needs to be extended is that, and we don't always have the money, is that $50 million of the half-cent sales tax goes to the cities. And they use it for the trolley system, Miami, Miami Beach, Coral Gables. But there's a person up here, okay, who is a county commissioner, without naming names. And she has continued using the half-cent for operations of the county, okay? And it should be going to our transit system. Our transit system should have 5 branches. She's talking about the thumb here, which is the Northeast branch. The Northeast branch wasn't built by the county. It was built by the private sector. And I fought to make sure that there were stops in Edison, North Miami, against some of my fellow county commissioners. So let's get the story straight, folks. Know who has done something for transportation, know who wants to tax the Metro Mover, know who has done absolutely nothing with the county system. Let's not copy the county. The county, you just saw the $400 million deficit when they just had $400 million more money. Sumner Martin back there will have copies of the tax base of the county, the way it's been going up 10% a year. Okay, and instead of using that for things like public transportation, instead of building those branches, instead of building...
Last time, Mr. Mayor, sorry.
Okay.
You have to go.
I'll get to the pinky. The pinky is what's supposed to go all the way to Florida City, and instead they just have more buses.
Thank you.
All right. I want to see if y'all caught that something was sitting on someone's desk for 5 years. Did y'all hear that? That is a communication problem. We don't need that. We need a negotiator. We need an executor, and that is me. We need somebody boots on the ground. That is me. We need somebody who doesn't have a handler, the same as Cava's handler, the same that Regalado has the same handler, with developer money in their pockets. That is me. Okay? I went to the 100 Black Men, and they have transportation issues. I went to Little Havana last week and spoke with the seniors. They have transportation issues. But something's sitting on somebody's desk for 5 years. That's a communication problem. Time to go. I'm a communicator. I've been negotiating deals in real estate for 25 years. Attorneys, high net worth people, insurance agents, title companies. I get the job done. Okay? I'm your girl. Let's do it.
Yeah, right. All right.
One of the problems that most of politicians have is that they have never managed anything. They have never worked for the private industry. I have done it. Whenever you're the manager or president or you're in charge of something in a private company, if you fail, they kick you out. In politics, sometimes they get reelected and they want to come back and they keep going. And sometimes us as residents, as constituents, we are the ones that have the problem because we keep electing them. Unfortunately, that's what happens. When you come to Overtown and the trolley is not coming to a lot of parts of Overtown and we elect the same people and we want to continue with the same and we're happy with that, let's keep electing people that have been around for a few years, for many years. But you know what? That's not the correct way of doing it. When I registered my papers a couple of weeks ago, I precisely took the trolley. There's a lot of people going into the trolley. And I was talking to the trolley. I invite you to actually follow my social media. You're going to see that I'm in constant contact with the community, visiting all neighborhoods. Every 2 days, we go to the community. For Overtown, we not only have to bring the trolley, but we need to bring more investment. We need to help the business owners. We need to lower property taxes all over the county. When you want to see someone that fights for you, go to the city hall. Try to see if someone from our same background, and I'm telling everyone, is working there. No, it's a group of people that have been going on for many years. They have failed in their position, but they keep being elected and they keep being in their position. So it's up to us to vote for new people, for someone that knows how to manage a company, how to manage a private business, how to bring investment and prosperity to your neighborhood. Thank you.
Thank you. So for sake of time, because we want to get to as many audience questions and community questions as possible, we'd like to limit everyone to 60 seconds for the next 2 questions, and then we'll go into the community questions. So next, and we'll start here. Overtown has played a central role in the history and culture of the city of Miami. As you seek to become mayor, what is your understanding of Overtown's history, and how would that knowledge shape your leadership and decisions for the future of our city?
That's very good because, you know, as we were saying at the beginning of this conversation, this is one of the first towns, you know, founded in 1896. So Miami was born here. We need to promote a lot of culture and support to diversity, to art, to sports, to a lot of things that actually enhance our culture. We've seen money going to foundations, organizations that are simply working with a certain group of people, and they are not working with all the diversity of the county, and in this case, the city. So we need to promote a lot of that. We need to let our young people know the history of Overtown and the foundation of the city of Miami. There's a lot of history in Miami, and you know what? It's getting lost because we as a city, we're not doing much for it. So I would promote a lot more. I would invest in promoting the art, the culture, and the history of Miami.
Yeah. Okay, so I studied the arts and I studied dance at Miami-Dade Community College, the first graduating year of PAVAC, which is now New World School of the Arts. We lost a lot of our arts after COVID. We lost our ballet programs, our music programs, and our youth need to express their soul through the arts. That is how your soul breathes. That will teach our children different venues of expression. We need to do that here in Overtown. I promise you, I will not let a theater get destroyed like the Playhouse in Coconut Grove. I promise you, we will have your own Overtown museum for the children to come and to learn their history and never let it get lost. We need that in Coconut Grove too. They want to turn City Hall into an eatery. I'm sorry, you cannot do that here to Overtown. We must protect arts and culture, and I'm your girl for that. I studied that. I put a little girl who was in the barracks into the ballet program at Miami City Ballet.
Time. Thank you.
You mentioned the Coconut Grove Playhouse because the big issue now is they want to commercialize it, okay? And they want the people that live right next to it, okay, are going to be having a hard time just getting in and out of their neighborhoods with all the commercial facilities they want to put into the Coconut Grove Playhouse because they didn't listen to the plan that I put forth with private funding. When I was first elected, I spent my first 2 years making sure that the hall with the Urban League was eliminated and rebuilt into a brand new facility, and the rest of the time making sure the Lyric Theater got off the ground. And I still think that we ought to invest a little bit more in the Lyric Theater. And of course, Chris Norwood's got the great museum on 11th Street. And that's another one of the arts facilities that I think is very important. Again, you either know the city, you either know how to get things done, or you don't. And I've proven that I know how to do it. And if, by the way, if people don't follow me, I don't sit around for 5 years. I sue them.
This time. Thank you.
That's Ralph.
I am a huge proponent of the arts, culture,
and history. I would do everything that it's in the mayor's power to preserve any cultural centers, building more arts institutions, and I would do that everywhere. And I think that that's extremely important, and I would make sure that the funding is there, and that because I know for a fact that all the money that goes into arts, culture, and history pays multitudes of dividends for the community and for the economy. So yeah, I would absolutely do that.
The history of Overtown was the question.
No.
I was addressing the question. I'm sorry.
Do you want me to repeat the question for you?
No, it's fine. It's fine. There's a before and after of I-95 decimating a community, and the growth of culture and people and business getting just absolutely decimated by a federal government decision. And what we need are elected officials who are willing to stand up to the state and federal government when they try to take a $60 million grant away from a community because the word equity is in it. That park that was supposed to reconnect Overtown and mend that history, that broken history, so that a kid in Overtown could get under the underdeck, under 395, in a beautiful park, ride his bike to the water, ride 5 miles south along the Baywalk, get on the underline and go all the way to Dadeland Station on his bike. And they're taking that away from us. Now, the CRAs is the recent history. That is the reparation. That's what, I don't call it a community redevelopment, I call it a community reparation agency, because it is a debt owed to a community. Now, when I inherited, I'm sorry, I'll get back, we're gonna get into affordable housing and everything, right?
Yes.
All right.
You'll get your shot, I promise.
Yeah. Overtown was such a special place, right? And it is now. But it's different. And its economic potential was halted by the scar we call I-95. And as much as it was originally established in 1896, before the highway went in, it was called Over the Town because all of the performers would go to Miami Beach and they would perform at the Fontainebleau, but they weren't allowed to stay in Miami Beach. And so they had to come back over Overtown. And that was just too much for folks. And so when the decision to build I-95 was made, they could have gone up 7th Avenue, which at the time was very underdeveloped, and not bulldozed anybody's home. But they didn't do that. They went right through here. They did that on purpose, and they did it all across America. And that has changed things forever. And you were robbed of $60 million to begin reconnecting that community through the underdeck and the Graham Greenway, because the city was asleep at the wheel and didn't sign the grant. Syracuse got their money. Rochester got their money. The city of Miami doesn't do anything.
Come back. Thank you. Next.
I got you. I'm just going to say lived experiences is a very important thing. So I co-sign on what was said. I heard it personally just from family members over the years. We still deal with post-traumatic stress disorder based upon what's took place in this city and in Overtown and Liberty City and other places. So I'll say that for another day. But I just want to kind of just put an emphasis on something, y'all. A lot of people up here always talk about I did this, I did that. It's about we. And one of the reasons this community has struggled and the city has struggled because we never have leadership that push forth a we policy, a we philosophy. We don't have leadership that actually teaches you about Section 5 of our charter so you can understand how we, the people, will pass ordinances. We don't have conversations about how I can have a participatory budgeting program so we can directly fund programs because we, the people, decide where the money go. We don't talk about how the city government can literally fund CBOs and neighborhood associations directly so the people closest to the folks in Overtown is actually making decisions and making change. But it's all about I'm a we mayor.
You're a town. Thank you.
Hi.
Things need to be funded. The city of Miami can never fund anything because the city of Miami does what the city of Miami wants. In fact, pretty much all of our elected officials do what they want at this point. I have said this in the last couple of forums. We need a transparency dashboard. If you follow the dollars, you see where everything's going. If residents can log online and look at all the contracts, that means the ones that happen in the back room got to be on there too. and you see where all the money's going and you see everybody's name. It's a lot harder to have giant deficits, and it's a lot harder to not have the money to fund, a dance class or an art program. The money's there. The money is in the budget when you get rid of all the elected officials who have had years and years and years to make a difference and still haven't. There's a lot of campaign promises, but I'm looking for progress.
Thank you. All right. And I know 60 seconds is tight, but we're trying to get through as many questions as we can. So thank you all for being helpful in that. Affordable home ownership and workforce housing remain critical issues right here in Overtown, Liberty City, and Little Haiti. What specific policies or initiatives will you advance to expand affordable housing opportunities in these neighborhoods? And also, considering all these communities have been detrimentally impacted by gentrification, how will you help residents remain in the communities that they love? Starting with Mr. Crock.
Can we do a minute and a half on this one?
Yeah, we got.
Only we know it's a critical issue, so yes, we'll do 90 seconds on this one. I got you. Go for it.
Displacement is tough. It happens with gentrification. Well, we can start with putting out protections for people within these communities. We have a lot of vulnerable communities, and what are we doing for them? There can be protections put in place where we can pay attention to the taxes, and we can be paying attention to the amount that's being set. We can't control rent. It's not, it's just not legal. But what we can do is make sure that somebody who's been in a house for 30 years, 50 years is not going to get pushed out. What we could do is bring actual affordable housing. We don't drop a mid-rise. We don't drop another high-rise. Bring actual affordable housing, little houses, townhomes, actual places where people can live. Something tangible that they can call their own. Help them get into it. Don't give them a credit class for a couple hours. As I always say, credit just doesn't pop up overnight. It doesn't matter about the class that you take. It doesn't matter. We have to help people get in there. We have to help people and give them something to work for. We can't just, you build a mid-rise, you build a high-rise, and then you're just pushing everybody out because nobody can afford it. We couldn't afford it before, can't afford it now.
Thank you.
All right, y'all. So this is what we gonna do. So first up, I met with the director of our housing department in the city, and we identified about 9,000 units that we can rehab, develop, and preserve over the next 4 years. And we're gonna do it in a couple of different ways. One, we are going to push forth an anti-displacement fund in this city. So if you live in the city of Miami and you have homestead exemption on your house and you've been here 20 years, I call my legacy residents, we are going to freeze your property taxes for the next 20 years, and it's on us. I'm gonna have a fund that will pay for any increases, so your fixed income and your disposable income is not going towards increased property taxes anymore in this city. Two, we are going to literally leverage something called the Affordable Housing Master Plan that Mr. Commissioner and the other commissioners never passed when he was on the dais and his friends. We're gonna finally have a comprehensive plan for this city so I can have a coordinated approach of how I'm doing stuff between the city, the county, and other municipalities around me. And that includes a couple of things. We are going to pay for and finance our naturally occurring affordable housing. There's a lot of units here that we can save and protect from market rates if we personally purchase them as the city. That's one. We are going to make sure that I am creating first-time homebuyer programs, initiatives bigger than what we have now, and literally having you prepared and ready to go to purchase condos. And we're going to change how we do community benefit agreements. So we're gonna have rent-to-own condos in apartment buildings. We're going to change the low-level, mid-level, AMI rates. I don't know if y'all know what that means when I say AMI, but right now we use county AMI to make decisions in our city when we should be using City of Miami AMI, because I don't know a lot of people that make $78,000 to $80,000 a year in my city.
Thank you.
But I know a bunch of people that make $40,000, and I'm here to fight for them.
Thank you.
Amen.
Right. There's two aspects to housing. The first is affordable housing. If you look at the county's master plan and the city's master plan as part of that, we're short 300,000 units. That's the reason folks are having such a hard time finding a place to buy and find a place to rent. We simply stopped building. A lot of that was NIMBYism. You know that, oh, we can't have townhouses here. What kind of people would live in townhouses? So we need to accelerate the construction of affordable housing. And that's for renters, for young people. Perhaps they're new in their job. And we also need to do the same for homeowners. County-owned land and city-owned land, they are not government-owned land. They're your land. They're the people's land. You've got to ask yourself, why isn't the city using every piece of its land to build housing on? I'll give you an example. We're getting the soccer stadium, right? That big old soccer stadium. You know what the city approved? They approved a bunch of hotels and a bunch of office buildings. There's not a single piece of that one unit of housing. They didn't even put like a tiny, tiny little caretakers. How can you give away tens of acres and not house people on them? City land must be used for the people's purpose, and that's part of the solution to the very complicated program of making sure we have more housing for our people to live in.
Thank you. So to get into the entire housing policy plan is very complicated. It needs a lot more time, but I can tell you, for my housing justice and anti-displacement platform, I am endorsed by Dr. Marvin Dunn. I'm endorsed for this race by Dr. Freddie Young and by Udonis Haslem. UD and I are working together to create 1,000 new homes for Miami. And I'm not talking about just new units in a tower. I'm talking about preserving and creating 1,000 new homes that are real affordable, not the highest level of county workforce where $4,000 a month for a family of four cuts it. I mean, real housing. And I'm telling you, the CRAs are the incredible, powerful tool. You know how powerful they are here. But there's a lot of abuse in CRAs. There's over 100 around the state. And when I inherited the CRA in Omni, it had already halfway exceeded its life and it hadn't produced one unit of housing. So I adopted the grand jury report on CRA reform, and now it has minimums for affordable housing, minimums for procurement, maximums. These are the types of abuses that happen at CRA, and none of the other CRAs were willing to adopt it. And when I created the CRA for Coconut Grove, $500 million for affordable housing that hasn't been spent, $1 of it, because it's been held up at the county, and they won't let us have it. They say we're too corrupt to deal with it. Well, I'm back, and we're going to spend it right. We're going to create more CRAs. We're going to do proper, transparent, and legal ways to run CRAs, and we're going to do real housing. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, affordability is one of the biggest crises in Miami right now, and it is not going to be solved by setting a set limit for the amount of affordable housing, saying that you can do 1,000 or 10,000. As Eileen just said, there's a need for 300,000. Anytime you try to use funds to try to create a number of a housing amount, you're ripe for corruption, you're ripe for issues. What you need to do is you need to preserve the existing affordable housing, and you need to ensure that those people who are facing issues with eviction and foreclosure are aware of their legal rights and create a legal aid society so that they can protect where they live and stay there and protect the communities. And that's what I would do.
Thank you.
Hepburn is right about the issue of AMI being countywide, and we've got to figure out a way to do something about that. On endorsements, I'm happy to see Terry Elliott here. He knows what I've done in this city over the years. Some of my former staff, Carmen Morris, I already mentioned. Where is he? Sunless. He's always hiding. Folks, there's two kinds of affordable housing. One is what we build that is for people of low income, okay? And the other one is what the rest of us have, hopefully, which is housing that we have paid for and that now we're being taxed to death because we bought it for $30 or $40 or $50 or $90,000, and now they tell us it's worth $900,000 because somebody wants to buy us out, okay? And then the homestead exemption was set in 1979 at $25,000. It should be $500,000, and that's a way to deal with the issue of not affordable housing in the sense of what government does with subsidies, which in my district as a county commissioner, we built 5 major projects. One of them, Cornerstone on 37th and US 1, that they're called transit-oriented development, has 40% workforce housing, okay? And when I was elected mayor in 1985, the city had approved 10 years before $25 million for affordable housing and hadn't spent a penny. The department was defunct And I got it started, and we built 1,500 units just in the first couple of years.
Thank you.
So I've been a real estate agent for 25 years, and I can tell you that the word salad, affordable housing, is a lie. It is not affordable. Workforce housing is not affordable. I know what seniors pay because my mother's a senior, okay? I know what Social Security gives you, and you have to go on SNAP, and you have to get all these other programs just to try and make your day as a senior. But nobody is doing nothing but giving developer discounts. We need higher impact fees for developers that want to come and build here to put back into our communities. The DDA gave $500,000 to the Orange Bowl Committee in Coral Gables. Why didn't it go back to Overtown? Why didn't it go back to giving people discounts? Like, anybody here during COVID called FP&L and got their bill paid for them for a month, or they got some money from the government during COVID to help with your rent? I know people that did. There is absolutely no reason that we cannot reach to our federal government and bring them down, boots on the ground, and work together. It's not just one solution. Also, the hotels need to do what New Jersey casinos did. If you work at that crap table, you get that free house as long as you're working at that crap table. So why don't these hotels help the people that are working in there? You need somebody with fresh new ideas. Get rid of the old, out with the new. I'm your girl.
Affordable housing is a big thing in the city of Miami, within Miami-Dade County, and nobody's doing anything about it. As I said, when you see the city hall is spending a lot of millions of dollars defending someone that was accused of corruption and using, abusing power, you say, didn't you say there was no money? There's money to defend people. Recently, as you know, they were trying to stay in power for an extra year without the consent of the people. Do you imagine how much money they were spending on legal fees and all that? Those are the monies that need to be used for affordable housing. But another thing is that when you go to neighborhoods in distress and you don't see affordable housing, not only you can talk about affordable housing, but you also need to talk about creating more employment and more business for those people. Because as Michael was saying, if there's a lot of people that are getting $40,000 a year, but suddenly you bring more investment to the city, to these neighborhoods, not only to Brickell, but you bring more investment and more employment and better paid jobs to these neighborhoods, suddenly that person that is making 40,000, maybe he's gonna be making 80 or 65 or 75. So he's gonna be able to afford a better house. But another thing that happened back in 2008, when the real estate crisis was happening, is that there was a lot of people losing their homes, and right now they haven't been able to recover in 17 years. But the city and the county didn't much in order to guide those people to save their homes. And I know a lot of people that went to the right attorney, went to the right sources, and they were able to save their homes. So we need to inform people, we need to guide, we need to create more business, more better paid jobs, and we need to work, of course, to create more affordable housing and control our expenses.
Thank you.
Thank you. So now we're going to go back to the 60-second format, and we're going to try to get through as many questions from the community and audience as possible. So this is our first question up from the audience. As mayor, how will you assure that city staff like the city attorney and city manager are not using their power for personal allurement and creating advantages for their favorites? So let's start here. We'll go down.
That's a good one. You know what? One of the things that I would do the first week of being mayor is I'm going to make an audit. I'm going to do an audit on the city government. I'm going to control all the expenses and where the money has gone in the last years because we need to control. I agree in bringing the department from Florida State to control the expenses right here. But also we need to control on all employees. I have a company, and you know what? Whenever there's an employee that is doing wrong and they're not doing their things, and they might do great things and kind of fishy things, I control, I check. So I would do the same thing. I wouldn't allow anyone to abuse power. We've seen abuse of power. We've seen commissioners, sending people to bother on business on 8th Street. We've seen them. And nothing has happened. You know what? Nothing has happened. And instead, the city defends those commissioners. So I would control every single employee and audit and see that they're doing their job and they're doing what they're supposed to do, which is serving the community.
Yes. Same question for me?
Yep.
Okay. I have no friends and family program that's going to happen under June Savage. Okay, Emilio Gonzalez has already offered his best friend, who has sponsored him, George Colina, the city manager job. That's a friends and family that needs to go. Every single politician that's been in office has done friends and family, or they have a handler because the developers have them in the pocket. I will break that matrix. Okay, I will put legislation that commissioners and mayor are full-time employees. Miami Department of Government Efficiency. Why don't we have it? Because the powers that be right now wanted an inspector general, and that is actually a weapon for them to use against each other. That was the wrong decision, in my opinion. Miami Department of Government Efficiency, we're going to get rid of government waste, and we're going to put it where it should go. Thank you.
Thank you.
I think I got a little lipstick on that. Here, it's good on you. Go. What the heck?
There's a saying about that, but I won't go into this. About a pig with you know the saying.
Go for it. The clock's ticking.
You got to appoint the right people, and you have to appoint people that are honest. I'm going to pick one position that's very important to the community. Police chief. I want to remind you who we had in my 8 years as mayor. Clarence Dixon.
Yeah, good man.
Harry Anderson. Yeah. Calvin Ross. It got so the other ethnic groups were saying, hey, what about DEI for us, you know? Including some Hispanics of my community or my ethnicity. So my community is this community. But anyhow, when I was mayor, one of the first things that we stopped was the rezonings. Okay, we had a coalition of 3 commissioners, including Dawkins, by the way, that would not vote for rezonings that weren't warranted. So a lot of money stopped flowing. And that's another important thing to do as mayor, is to make sure you always vote for the neighborhoods. That's why my slogan is a mayor for all the neighborhoods. And that's the way it will be if I'm mayor again, when I'm mayor again. So thank you again for the question.
Thank you.
I think that corruption has become endemic to City Hall. I think the solution is sunlight and transparency. For the roles of city manager and city attorney, I would make sure that they have financial disclosures, that they have to produce their tax returns, and that they cannot have any other income besides that from their city salary. Those things I think would go a long way, and ensure that the people that we pick are above reproach in terms of their history and their financial entanglements. That's what I would do.
Thank you. So when I first got elected in my first year, I tried to fire the city attorney because of the unethical behavior. I learned very early who they believe their master is. And I decided that they were the smartest politician up there because they could count the votes to keep their job by protecting the commissioners and the mayor from accountability for their actions. And that's why they were worthy of being removed. The whole reason I got into office because I found contaminated ash in front of my home that came from Old Smoky, which led me to join the Old Smoky Steering Committee long before politics, and found a cancer cluster in the West Grove. And when I got into office, I asked my city attorney, we got 5 other contaminated parks. Are we advising the neighbors around those parks that we can't find the margins of contamination? She said, no, because we don't want a class action lawsuit. Your fiduciary duty is to protect the city, not the residents. No. That is not your job. Now, the reason the commissioners protect the attorney, because the attorney protects the commissioners, because we only got 5. And in that small dais of 5 commissioners, the largest city in the country with only 5, they protect each other and continue to pay each other's legal bills and keep a crooked attorney in place. I want more districts, let me just finish this one sentence, so that there are smaller districts that have representation. Little Haiti will have its own commissioner, Overtown will have its own commissioner, Coconut Grove will have its own commissioner, and then you dilute the power of the dais and hold the administration accountable. Thank you.
Thank you.
When the city commission decided to let their attorney stay, let me tell you what she went on to do. She, in a scam with her relatives and family members, were defrauding the most vulnerable people in our community out of their homes. This was happening in my district. An older person was put with a guardian ad litem, and lo and behold, through these connections, someone would say, oh, you know, you've got a lot of code violations. We're going to have to sell your home. They would buy that home in the morning and they would sell it at 5 p.m. and make $125,000. That is how disgusting the corruption is. They are literally feeding on the poorest and most vulnerable residents. It requires complete transformation. You've got to have new people, especially at the helm with the city manager. But let's be very clear with code enforcement. Code enforcement is weaponized to make sure that people in older homes can't afford the number of repairs. They also put small businesses. How many small businesses here have had that? So corruption is everywhere, and that has to stop.
I got you. This is why I don't trust some of the people up here. Because you just straight up, not you on this one. I'm talking about Russell. He just straight up lied to y'all. I can't even answer this question because this is, listen, we do not have a majority black district in the city of Miami anymore. Y'all know that? District 5 is not majority black no more. So if you expand districts, there is no guarantee that you will have one representation in the city, let alone the one that we currently have now. So you are straight up lying. Second, when we talk about the city attorney office, and a lot of folks don't even know what the mayor does, because you can't go around directing departments and telling people what to do. That is the city attorney job, even firing the city manager job, even firing the attorney, all that type of stuff. Listen, I need y'all to do some research about how the city operates, how our charter works, and the powers of the mayor office, because most of the stuff you are hearing is just straight up not possible because the current system is full with corruption in no possible way for these initiatives to work. I am getting so frustrated because I talk to people every day that's leaving here. We lost 9,000 residents since I started running for mayor. That was black. We have purged 40,000 people in my city from voter registration rolls. And I don't see no gusto, no fight, none of these people talking about that. So listen to me. Do your research. Stop voting for people because they got some handler or they got lobbyists or nice flyers. Do your research.
All right, thank you.
I'm right this and that. You got what's up, hey, and you listening, sit up.
That's how I'm.
Accountability is it's not negotiable. I continue to tell people that I'm here fighting for transparency, government transparency, accountability. What am I gonna do to get rid of the people? I'm gonna get rid of them. I'm gonna air everybody's business out. I'm gonna make sure that everybody knows every little thing, and I'm gonna do something until it happens. No offense to candidate DeSantis here. I did it during sessions with my bill because when you tell a senator that they won't get their district appropriations if they're up on a specific bill, and then someone finds out.
Okay.
I had reporters in his office at the end of the day. My bill was on the floor for days when Senator Harrell added last-minute amendments to kill my bill, knowing that this is a really good bill and would save so many minorities' lives. They did not care. And so I sent flyers all around the Capitol. I handed them out to these lobbyists who called me a big problem. And she withdrew her amendments. Because sometimes you just can't be silent. But the problem is that our city is just filled with silence, intentional silence, and it is incredibly loud.
Thank you. Yeah.
Senator,
right.
Senator, can I just rebut? I was directly called a liar, so
30 seconds, please.
I really want to. And
Like to quick 30-second retort, but understand this, folks. We're not going to personalize this. All these folks are running for mayor. That is a risk.
that
is a risk that everyone is taking. You all, as citizens, have the opportunity to vote for one of these people. Yeah. But I want to create some accountability for the room, too. The last city election had 12% turnout.
Thank you.
12%. 10% from District 5. Let me say again, 10% from District 5, which is where we are. So please, please, save me on the hooting and hollering if you're not going to actually go out and do the thing, okay? So I just want to make sure that we're just not here. We're not here for clicks. We're not here for follows. We're here for accountability. So I will allow 30 seconds.
Thank you, Senator.
But I think it's important
I appreciate
that we tone it down in the room. Go ahead.
Well, that's really what I wanted to say, because, Michael, I respect you. Mr. Hepburn, I respect you very much. And I think we've had good decorum between us. But when you disparage me and my character by calling me a liar, you can say I'm wrong. You could say I don't know what I'm talking about. You could say it's not going to work. But to just call me a liar, I think you know me better than that. Honestly, you and I have been through enough things together that I am not trying to deceive anyone by saying
back and forth, Mr.
that. But by saying that smaller districts will serve the community better, we may have a difference of opinion there, but I really do believe it. And if we vote for the redistricting charter amendment that's on the ballot right now, we will have proper redistricting, and that happens, and not favoritism through commissioners. But please, I would never call you a liar. And for 8 years, I never had an ethics complaint, a legal complaint, nothing.
Great time. Thank you.
Thank you.
No, because the problem is it devolves, and we can't do it. This question has to do with all of you. So I hope that you all can answer it in the 60 seconds. All right. The state is looking to get rid of property tax revenue for cities. It's also been parroted by local elected officials around getting rid of property taxes. How will you as mayor assure that the city budget can manage its affairs in the general fund with the threat of potential loss of property tax revenue? I would also add that the impact in loss of revenue will impact Miami-Dade County Public Schools. So any adjustments or shifts made at the city level will have a direct impact on the school districts as well. So again, the question is, how will you deal with the potential threat of loss of revenue at the city level if the state moves to get rid of property taxes, starting with Ms. Crump?
I feel like I'm going in circles with these questions because I think the answer is the same as all the others. It's government transparency, accountability, and getting all of the corruption out of City Hall. Vote the corruption out. We have this deficit, but that deficit is there because everybody is lining their pockets. Everybody's got a builder and a backroom deal. Everybody is just, everyone talks about permits. We have these permits, nothing's getting passed through. Sometimes things get passed through, and some things take years. And I mean, who's in office? Who's been in office? Because permits existed then too. And I mean, buildings were built and everybody else was pushed out. And we're dealing with all these things. So you get rid of the corruption. You have that transparency dashboard, like I said, where you see where every dollar goes. You don't have a problem with educational funding if the funds aren't being taken by City Hall and put into people's pockets and into PACs.
Last time. Thank you. Next. Mr. Apron.
All right. So we gotta level set. We don't control the governor house. We don't control the state house. We don't control state senate. Almost 50% of my city voted for the president of the United States. Okay? So let's be very real about this. So it's not a lot of policy because of our lack of engagement and voting power in this state and definitely in this city that we can do. So we got to get very creative and we got to lawyer up. We got to get ready to go to war when it comes down to them taking away property taxes in the city, because that's how we fund everything outside of sales tax and, some permit fees and that type of stuff. So I'm going to digress from that. But I'm going to go back to Russell's point right fast. Listen, and this ties to this question. If you switch our elections from an off year to a presidential year or governor year, right? Let me give y'all some math. There are 17,800 plus black people that voted last year in November for Kamala or whoever. Well, they voted in the presidential, right? It's only about 21,000 black people in my city registered to vote. There's 500,000 people in this city, only 174,000 registered to vote, okay? You can become mayor because less than 29,000 people vote. If you switch, dang.
It's on the roll.
You're wrong.
What was the question?
60 seconds is quick.
What was the question? I'm so confused.
I will.
All right. So
Do you need me to repeat the question?
no, it's coming back to me. I go back to how many districts and what year's election, property taxes. Let's get back. So folks, there's a group up in Tallahassee that is looking at whether or not they should get rid of property taxes. And there's certainly merit. I think there's a lot of merit in looking at how are other possible ways to fund local government services. And if they come up with a good solution, we should be willing to consider it, and I would be willing to consider it. But there's an inherent insidiousness in this because they're only talking about getting rid of property taxes for homeowners. But 60+% of the people in our community are renters. And
They're not talking about lowering the property taxes for those folks that are the commercial owners, which means the renters will not benefit from that. And that is the bulk of the people that live in this community. Now, in the meantime, all of us, there's going to have to become, I mean, how are we going to fund the police department or the fire department? How is an ambulance going to come and get you? How's the park going to be clean? Right? We're going to have to find revenue, and they're suggesting sales tax. Well, that means young people who rent don't get a property tax, and every single thing they buy goes up. So we should look at it, but we need to be smart about it.
Thank you.
The state government needs to stay out of the city's business. The governor is pandering for votes and giving away what is not his. The state government does not collect the property taxes, and the cities rely on it. And that's the constant war over home rule that we've had forever. And cities need to fight for their rights. And when Emilio Gonzalez ties on with Ron DeSantis, related or not related? Related? Distant related. Hopefully very distant related. He is actually advocating for a policy, Ron DeSantis, not James DeSantis. Emilio Gonzalez is advocating for a policy that would eliminate the entire size of our police and fire budget. So we need to fight as a community. Now, is there waste and fraud in our tax millage? Yes. Our mayor lies and says your taxes are the lowest they've ever been. We pay him. We know better. The assessment is higher than it's ever been. So I'm proposing tax relief for fixed income seniors. I've already proposed it at the commission. I'm hoping they'll pass it. If you are a senior who's owned your home for over 25 years, no more taxes. For all of the seniors, own your own home, fixed income. For less than 25 years, double the homestead exemption. That is an opt-in to a state program that exists that the commission can do this month.
Your time, Commissioner.
Thank you.
A city should be in control of its own destiny, and the voters should be able to pick and choose what they want and what policies they want. And I would always make sure that the city of Miami is run responsibly, that the budget is not running any deficits. If there is a ban on the property taxes, we'd have to explore alternative ways to funding the city, but that would be something that would be beyond the control of the mayor at this point. So yes, I would say twofold. One, that the city of Miami should be able to control how it raises money in any way, shape, or form. And it needs to be responsible with that money and make sure that it's transparent and that everybody benefits.
Thank you.
I'm pleased to recognize Pastor Richard Dunn, a former commissioner. A man spent 4 months trying to convince me to run. And I said, my wife doesn't want me to run, but I want you to run. So anyhow, I follow you instead of my wife. I won't get into the repercussions of that at this point, but folks, it's very simple. The governor's plan to eliminate property taxes, that won't fly, okay? But the legislature is supporting a $500,000 increase, which brings the $25,000 from 1979 to what it's now worth, a median home. And it's supported by the speaker. It's supported by the state representative in this area, who's the chairwoman of the select committee. And it's supported by the county commission chairman, who's a Republican. But it's supported and wants to make it double by the vice chairman, who is a Democrat, my friend Kiani McGee. That's going to happen. And we're going to figure out how to cut expenses a little bit. Some of that over expense that we're talking about, including a manager getting $500,000. Please don't tell him I said.
But thank you.
We're going to make the cuts necessary to make this happen. And you're going to be really happy because 80% of Miamians will not have to pay a single penny in property.
Thank you.
Okay, so the mayor doesn't have that much power. We are a city manager run. Our city manager is already going to go to the FIFA soccer stadium. He's already out. So my plan is to do an open season on getting us the best city manager that we deserve for the city of Miami, not an insider like Emilio Gonzalez is getting, Jorge Colina. I'm going to get us the best. And I've got someone who I'm thinking about who has a PhD, and he actually happens to be African-American. PhD, doctorate, Harvard, smartest man you'll ever meet in the room. You're such a narcissist. So his son spent $1 million on Miami coin, and that could have gone back to us.
So let's see.
Stop. County had a $400 million deficit. Oh, but then when Florida Dodge came, they happened to find it. So I want Miami Dodge to find us the money and put it back in your pockets. Everything else is politicking and BS to get elected.
All right, thank you.
When actually the governor said, with all due respect to Mr. DeSantis, when he said it, that he was going to eliminate the property taxes, actually that was not true, and that's something that is not possible. If you actually do the calculation on the numbers, you would have to have maybe a sales tax of over 15%, maybe 18%, so that's not going to fly. So I agree that we need to cut property taxes a little bit, and you know what? One of the things that not only the city, but the county should do is cut expenses, and of course I'm going, a little bit outside the city, going to the county, but when you find people that are getting almost $500,000 a year as a salary, and you multiply that, that's the over expenses that we have, and that actually falls into your property taxes. One of the things that I would propose is actually to cut the property taxes for the elderly, as someone was saying, maybe by 20-25%, that's something that is possible to be done. It's really sad. A couple of weeks ago, I was walking on Little Havana, and I found a guy, he was maybe 85. He paid already his house, and this is, a story that for sure is going to relate to, many neighborhoods around our city. He already paid his house, and it's already paid, but maybe 70% of his check is going to property tax, so we need to do it.
Thank you.
Thank you. So our next question, and we'll, start back this way. What are your thoughts on the Trump Presidential Library being placed in downtown Miami?
Oh, Lord.
That's a good one. And you know what? I think as many of the things that happen in this city, I think it should be consulted to the people, maybe just a few people decided on it. I think it's good to have a library. I don't know if Trump's popularity, around the area is going to be good enough to have a library there. Anytime, a library comes and someone brings education and things and tools and, a connection to education, I support it. But of course, many things in this city and in our community, they need to be consulted with people. Why don't you ask people? Put it on a ballot, put it, somewhere. But people need to agree with it. Many things are happening here. You just saw what happened with the Olympia Theater right here in downtown. I don't know if, the community, is agreeing with it. What is happening with the theater in Coconut Grove. There's many things around our community that, they're not consulted. People, sometimes they don't even know it. And it's coming, but of course, a library, I don't think it's going to make any harm. Instead, it's going to promote education around our.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I believe the location is next to the Freedom Tower. I don't think that works.
That doesn't work.
Okay, I'm also a daughter of the American Revolution. My family fought for this country against the British. We don't have enough museums of the history of our own families, of our own heritage going on here in the city of Miami. I think that we should find another location, whether it's West Palm Beach, where Mar-a-Lago is, or up in Tallahassee. I love him. But listen, we got to take care of us first, okay? We need our own museums. All right, and I promise you, they already want to turn City Hall into a restaurant. I want to put the Bahamian culture back on the map at City Hall. And you're hearing it from me. I'm going to bring that globe back. We're going to get the... All right.
Appreciate you.
It's going to be a museum.
Thank you.
I'm glad Sunless is here because he's Bahamian and he knows how hard, and Carmen Morris knows how hard I tried to bring a Bahamian museum. And I'm still on that deal, and a Black History Museum to that area, by the way. Miami Coin paid the city $5 million. You were really nice to me this morning. You said I had an open door policy. You said I was the best mayor ever, okay? And then in the evening you turn against, but what's going on here? Listen, all I can tell you about a museum, a Trump museum, is that what it's called? I mean, I have 3 degrees, okay? But I don't think that I would ever go to read about Trump any more than I already read about him or use that in my education in any particular way. So it sounds to me like a money loser. Somebody will tell Miami-Dade College about that.
Let's be clear. This is a presidential library, notwithstanding any opinions about the president. This is a huge win for Miami. This will be a great economic boost. It's an it's an archive. Oh, it's no, I've been to presidential libraries. They are museums. They are actually ways for people to learn about history. I think you need to give it a chance.
Nowhere near here. You heard of Mar-a-Lago? This should be Far-a-Lago, away, because Miami is the example of healthy immigration. The Freedom Tower is the beacon of this city, we should be so proud. And I'm sorry, I worked with your son for so many years in Harmony, but when he ran for president, he went to the border wall and he started calling immigrants criminals. Our mayor must represent our entire diverse city, the largest in the country with more than half of our residents born somewhere else. This museum would actually be a representation of the very opposite. The profiling, the bigotry, the pushing people out based on their color, their look, their origin. The story of people coming here is complicated, and not everybody who came here without papers should be called illegal. To get here is complicated. When you're fleeing a dictatorship, you will do whatever it takes to protect your family. We need to honor that, and our police force should not be taking on federal duties of immigration and profiling our own residents. Our budget should not be wasted on that, and that museum should be Far-a-Lago.
No. Maybe I need 2 mics for this. Thank you, Ken. All right, so I thought the guy was a billionaire and could afford to buy land rather than needing a free giveaway right in the center of downtown, next to the beacon of freedom that we believe and walk by and has welcomed the Cuban American population for decades. And now we're going to have, I guess, a library, but I don't know why it would be a library because as far as I know, they've banned all the books. So I'm not sure what's going to be in there.
Back.
Meanwhile, that land was so valuable and could have constructed dorms for students at Miami-Dade College, a new research facility, expanded to a different degree program, perhaps so people could get training in new technology for the new tech careers. Instead, it's just a giveaway to the billionaire of all billionaires. I think it's incredibly sad. And the fact that it was done behind closed doors and under cover of darkness makes it worse.
I co-sign on what Russell and Higgins just said. So very good job, y'all. I got you. So let me switch it up a little bit. A lot of our immigrants voted for the president, and they did exactly what they knew they could do to us because of how we activate in this city. We have never been a melting pot, y'all. Never. We are a salad bowl, salad tray with the different dividers, okay? You got your tomatoes don't want to touch the cheese don't want to touch this. Like, that's how we live in this city. So don't be surprised about who fights for what or 287G agreement or how my election got canceled, who came out and fought for that. Like, we have never been together. So don't expect we're going to be together on this. But very good job answering the question. What I want y'all to understand is my administration is going to be focused on how do I activate you, the people? How do we use the charter so you have a voice and pass policy? How do I push money straight to the people so we can fight back that way? Because we're not doing a good job fighting back voting or advocating or going to Tallahassee or going to the White House. But my city is going to be the guiding light of how we fight back through us.
Thank you.
Advocacy is key. So I've been pretty upset about this Trump library. And to be honest with you guys, I'm a Republican, and I hate it. I hate what they're doing. It's so insane. Why would Miami-Dade College not have an input in this? Have they seen? Have they seen the?
Yes, maybe yes.
Now I'm like, okay. Sorry, guys. Have they? I mean, this $400 million deficit that we were looking at. I mean, I know it's not 400 million, but why are we giving away something worth that many millions when we're looking at cutting services that people need? Sorry, this is driving me crazy, guys. So
we're working on it.
Sorry.
I'll tell that, Mike.
Yeah.
You're
pull the microphone closer, Alyssa.
Hold it. Hello.
Yeah.
All right. Perfect. Here we go. So we have this crazy deficit we're looking at. We're looking at cutting services and all this. And, you know, as Higgins said here, is why can't he buy it? Why can't he buy it? Why couldn't he? Why was nobody involved? It just did.
Time, appreciate it.
So
that was a good question to end on. Why can't he buy it? You're right. All right, folks, because we want to make sure you all have an opportunity to mingle with these folks before we conclude the night, the next series of questions are going to be yes or no rapid fire questions going down back and forth. So please listen for the question. It'll be a straight up yes or no. The first one's kind of a two-parter. So you'll get either two yeses, two nos, yes or no. How do you want to mix it up? You know, it's a two-part question. Let's go. All right, so we're going to start here first. We know that the city of Miami signed a 287G agreement with their police department, allowing them to cooperate with ICE. So the first question of the two parts is, will you as mayor eliminate the 287G agreement with ICE? Yes or no? Okay, so that's the first question. The second question is, will you as mayor protect immigrant residents in the city of Miami if, like Chicago, we start to see militarization of ICE in our community? So again, first yes or no question is, will you, and we'll start with Ms. Crocker. First question is, will you, you want to do thumbs up? I'm going to answer that. Y'all cool with that? All right, here we go. So again, first question is, will you as mayor move to eliminate the 287G agreement with ICE and the city police department?
Thumb up or thumb down?
Thumb up or thumb down? Will you, it's a yes or no. Thumb up is yes, thumb down. Eliminate the 287G agreement with ICE.
We can try. I mean, for the record, is he not answering?
All right, I get it.
Answer over here.
So, all right. Second part of that question. All right, second part of that question again. If we see the militarization of ICE in our communities, will you as mayor protect the residents of the city of Miami? Yes or no? All right, thank you.
Thank you. Next question. Will you commit resources to the Overtown community to continue improving academic proficiency for children and youth? Yes or no? Okay, y'all see all the thumbs? All right.
All right. Next one is, will you as mayor, you as the elected mayor of the city of Miami, fully fund the Office of Constituent Affairs at the city of Miami? Will you as mayor or create or fully fund? I'm just going by the question, folks. Don't blame the messenger. All right, so we'll switch it up again. Will you, as the elected mayor of the city of Miami, create the Office of Constituent Affairs?
I
mean, either you do or you don't. I mean,
yes or no?
That actually control what used to be med centers in town.
Yeah.
And the microphone
has 21 full-time employees. So like, why do you need another? We already paying people money now to do it.
So it sounds like you would dedicate people to constituent affairs, which would be, yes. I don't know what the problem is. You should just put your thumb up. Gotcha. All right.
So he's trying to help you. He's trying to help.
Okay. Next question. Will you commit to establishing a City of Miami satellite office centrally located in the Tri-Community area, which would include Overtown, Liberty City, and Little Haiti?
Yes or no?
Yes or no? Thumbs up or thumbs down? Let's see. You got thumb?
Can you repeat the question? I'm sorry.
Repeat the question.
Will you commit to establishing a City of Miami satellite office centrally located in the Tri-County community area, which would, Tri-Community area, which would include Overtown, Liberty City, and Little Haiti?
Yeah, that all.
Yeah, and then it's
Okay.
like,
All right, you've heard it a couple times.
reality get.
I brought up tonight, there is a ballot initiative happening called Stronger Miami in the city that would expand the commission, that would create some changes. Would you, or do you, as candidate for mayor, support the Stronger Miami initiative? Stronger Miami ballot initiative. Stronger Miami ballot initiative. Yes, to expand the commission.
Even your vote. It's but 9. Right?
Yes.
Even your vote.
Well, it's 7-9, but go ahead.
Oh, is that okay?
All right. So again, you used to, again. And just shameless plug, Florida Rising does support it. But we do have folks, if you want to sign that petition and know more about it, please, Renette, where's Renette at? Renette. Still here.
All right. Very much on my mind.
Thank you so much. Next question.
Next question. 1 in 5 households in Miami lacks access to adequate technology. Will you commit resources to closing the digital divide in the tri-community area? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Yes.
They're doing that now.
Hello, them.
All right. Thank you so much. I think we're last two, I believe, and the last one's a bit of a doozy. It's gonna be an interesting one.
You take it.
It's gonna be the one. Yeah, we're gonna do it.
You want me to do it?
No, I'm here for it. I'm here for the shenanigans. All right.
Then let me.
Oh, yeah. Go for it. All right, got it. So this question is, are you as mayor, or will you as mayor be willing to stand up against the current federal administration in the cutting of funds to local governments? As mayor, will you be fighting the feds?
Yes. That's not hard at all. Yeah.
Fighting for our money.
Thank you so much. All right, last question.
Before we get to the juicy question and before we lose the audience, I just want to say a thank you to our partners, to Florida Rising, Just Vote, Period, Overtown Children and Youth Coalition, the NAACP Miami-Dade Branch, That Part Podcast, High Low News, All Like My Media, Going Overtown, and Black Men Win Together. So definitely wanted to make sure we shout out our partners before we get out of here. And the last question is, yes or no, are you a resident of the city of Miami? Yes or no? Further, okay.
Sometimes you gotta be sure.
Sometimes we gotta do it for the record.
You gotta put it on. Make sure these folks. So again, we want to thank, round of applause for the candidates that will be closing on the second. Thank you all. You are peppered with a bunch of questions. We want, before you get up, we want to give you a 60-second closing. I know. You're about to move. We know y'all need it. So starting with Ms. Crocker, go ahead. And it can make it 30 seconds if you want, folks, but you got 60.
All right, starting me. So I'll make this really fast for you guys. I'm not running for mayor because I have all the answers. I'm running for mayor because I have lived the questions. Miami's a global city with local crisis. We have corruption. We have lack of access and equality. We have the worst health care. We have hospitals killing people and people covering it up. We have organs being taken from people from these hospitals. And everybody knows it's happening. They did it to my dad. I've shouted about it. In 2022, who was in office because nobody helped me. And I asked everybody for help for my father. So I just hope you guys know that it's going to be a lot of transparency, a lot of accountability, and a lot of justice because it is long overdue.
Thank you so much. Ed's moving around the room, so it's hard to follow him. Thank you, Ed. I appreciate it. Go ahead.
All right, y'all. So I am in this fight for one reason, that is to lower the cost of living for working class people. My administration is going to be focused on 5 things. We are going to rehab and develop affordable housing in this city. We are going to improve Miami's resilience to sea level rise.
Can we get some quiet in the back, folks? We're closing out.
We are going to finally stand up against corruption in this city. We are going to enhance our neighborhoods and public safety measures, and I am going to uplift my children and seniors in the city of Miami. And I do that because everything I have done in the last 20 years in the city has been to pour life into the dreams and goals of our people. And this is my love letter to the city that made me who I am. So please vote.
Last time.
Oh, that's what I'm
The reason I'm running is very simple. We need to restore trust in our city government and get things done for the people. I promise to do that for you every day. I may not be the best talker up here, but I am definitely the best worker. I promise to get up every morning, go to City Hall, and try to do the things that our community needs. Whether it's affordable housing or a street that floods or a new job, prevention from evictions or small business support. I will work for you every day, and it would be the honor of a lifetime should you decide to choose me to serve as Miami's next mayor.
Thank you. I'm running for mayor because we can't afford the rent, we can't afford the mortgage, we can't afford corruption anymore. We need a leader, a mayor who has the character, the courage to represent this community, and someone who has the experience and the ability to win. I'm the only one up here who's been elected in the city of Miami in this century and have the ability to actually make sure. That wasn't a jab, it was just a... I just realized I had to clarify as I was saying it. I didn't mean it as a jab, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, X. But we need these fresh ideas. I'm telling you, Miami is ready for this change, and I'm the one up here that's willing to take the transformative, disruptive change to our charter to get rid of corruption and bring real affordable housing.
That's time. Thank you.
I'm running for mayor because Miami deserves better than the leadership that it's had for decades, and I didn't want to sit on the sideline. I jumped in head first. I'm trying to learn as much as I can. I will be listening to all constituents. I will be implementing as many of their ideas that I believe are beneficial, and I believe that the best way to improve City Hall is to replace pretty much everything that's going on over there. The permitting system, I would make sure that everybody can get what they need out of the permitting system. So it was news to me when I realized, like I said, I'm relatively new to Miami, but to learn about how historically the city has been run, it was alarming, and that's why I'm in this.
Thank you.
Folks, if you're not sure what Xavier Suarez stands for, ask Sunless, ask Terry Elliott, ask Carmen Morris, these people that have worked with me. They know what's in my heart when I'm not running for office, which is most of the time, although I do run a lot. And I will bring that back to the city, okay? Because I'm a mayor of all the people, and I'm known as that. And besides that, the second part of that, I have a good heart. I think they can attest to that, and you all can attest to it because you know me. But besides that, I get things done.
Thank you.
Some of these other folks up here,
that's time. That's time.
Thank you all. God bless you all.
Raise your hand if you want to break the city of Miami from the matrix of the politics that have been going on, the dynasties, and the recycled politicians that talk and do nothing. We've got to break this matrix. This is your call to action. We can save our history. We can save our future and this city, and we can do it. Number 161, June Savage, your hometown girl, is going to call to action to break the matrix of the nasty politics in Miami.
As I said at the beginning, I've been working with business owners for many years. More than 2,000 businesses are the ones that I have visited. I know how to bring employment, bring prosperity, bring investment. That's what I've done for my private company. It's time to kick the same politicians that have been going around for many years. It's time to elect someone new with a new leadership that knows how to handle a business, how to manage a company, how to bring prosperity, how to bring affordable housing, how to bring more employment to your town, to your neighborhood. And that's Ceballos Miami. You can check my website, ceballosmiami.com, Ceballos Miami on social media. You can check what I'm doing.
Thank you.
Thank you. Give everyone a round of applause. Give yourself a round of applause to come here on a Wednesday evening to support democracy. Just give us, we're going to do some closeout. So definitely want to let everyone know again, we're going to be live streaming this for the community free on That Part Podcast YouTube page. So if you want more information on how to share that, come to us. Also wait, we're not finished, y'all.
Hold on, folks.
Give us
a couple church announcements.
Yeah, we got two church announcements. Also to follow High Low News. We are local, Black-owned, woman-owned news company here in South Florida, covering everything from politics and government and local news and community. Also, too, we feature a lot of information about things. Yes, I do have my card, so if you want more information, please come to me and I'll get that to you. And then also as well, just want to say thank you to all our partners and Follow That Part podcast and High Low News and everyone who supported us.
Thank you to Janae. Real quick, we want to bring up Anthony Robinson from the OYC and Black Men Win for a couple quick announcements.
All right, real quick, folks.
Listen up.
Folks, we want to thank, first of all, let's thank you all for coming out today. I think you all deserve a round of applause for what you are doing.
Yeah.
Because this is a demonstration of letting these individuals up here know how serious we are about our community and how our voices would not be unheard and how we would not be unseen. So we want to make sure that we appreciate you all and let you know how much we're thankful for you all being out here today, because this is for you. We're going to do another mayoral debate on the 28th of October at Greater Bethel AME Church. We need all of you there, but we need you to bring someone, because we really truly need to make sure that our candidates know that this community, Little Haiti, Overtown, Liberty City, will not be left out. We will be heard. We will be a voice that they will hold them accountable to. Also, get out to make sure that on November 4th, that you get out and vote for the candidate that you think is the best for you and your community. As the co-founder of Black Men Win Together, we thank you all and we appreciate you all for coming out and making sure that these individuals know how serious we are about what we're doing. And thank you all for being here today and taking time out of your schedule to make sure you knew how important we are to this election. Thank you. Thank you all again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hold on.
God, I didn't get enough time.
When this goes out to the Taylor, bring out a Dutchie. I break a lot and brought out about the Devin Cock pretty hell. Private listen, go vote. He's the so vote, they got 12 minutes. My guy posted up going on. It is so hot tonight. So he's just we're getting fuck outside. Work that I have no money. I told you. I'm so. I'm always at the chat, but yeah, these things are thinking. Can I make sure I get I'm 15 to make with that? Oh, it's going. Well, yeah, we know what we talk about. Probably to do that stuff, you know. And because we're fan. I'm sad.
Yes, I mean, let me sometimes I play so that we can like sure it's sexy.
Yeah.
You know, so tongue told it, but go like our top for the sensitive to my chest, greatly ten. That's but it didn't go. I don't want to be just there. I'm not sure if she told you right. We have to Robson. So, what's that? Robbins, all the way, anyways. As for the also, I really are to perceive. I think about what's said in their seat. I'm glad so do what? Glad Shaman. Yeah, Tuesday, that was funny. Yeah, glad everybody. Yeah, no, so I have the end. And I figure out it's a person. They read it. Did not go. So I tell you, wait, you know, and it's so like after what I guess. We're not going to toilet. Even the bird.
What they do?
We like. Well, what I did was.
Can y'all hear us?
Think so. Yeah. Back at it. Thank you so much. We appreciate everybody for watching the town hall.
Yes.
Pretty amazing. You did a great job.
Thank you.
You know what I mean? I definitely I'm ready to talk about it.
Yes.
Where do we start? Where do we start?
I mean, we got a little. How we gonna do that?
Cool. So, like, where do we start? But it wasn't just like a showmanship thing. Like he was hitting certain points that were really good too. So it wasn't like
they said no sound. No sound? The light isn't on.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, it
Boom.
is?
Yeah, I'm not sure. And I'm seeing the levels. The levels are there.
Sorry, this is.
And we were just hearing it.
Can y'all hear us now?
Can you hear us now? Okay, it's
Oh,
back.
it's that.
Okay, it's
Okay,
that.
so
All right,
yeah,
got
okay.
you. All right. Our bad. All right. All right.
So we were saying, who do you think is the standout person from the debate? Annoying and best performance.
Okay, I thought that Michael Hepburn was a standout in the sense that he had more of a showmanship. He showed more passion, definitely. And then the points he was saying were good. So sometimes people will show out, but they talking shit.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't like that. Like he had really good points, even to the point where some of the other candidates was like agreeing with him and giving him his kudos. So I was happy to see him, but I think he was in his environment.
Mm-hmm, that's what I thought too.
So he was definitely showing out on that level. So kudos for him. I mean, you're supposed to show out when you have the upper hand, which I believe he did have with that audience,
Who was annoying?
Man,
or who you felt like didn't have the best performance? How about that?
It was probably a tie between the DeSantis guy and then the lady on the very end to the left.
Alyssa.
Yeah, they were battling for the bottom for me, but I mean, the DeSantis guy, I mean, you could tell that he only has missionary sex. Like, I mean, he's just like, you know what I mean?
He was a robot to me.
A droid. I call him a droid. Yeah, see, like I call him a droid. You know what I mean? He just didn't have any vibe, any passion, and like if I want somebody that's going to be looking out for me, I want them to come with a level of passion, and like I don't want them to feel my pain. And then when he kind of talked about the Trump library, he lost me with that as well.
Did you hear the crowd booing him? What I love the most about the Overtown crowd, I remember I told you, I was like, it was a mixture of a political debate and Showtime at the Apollo. They were like responding back. They were letting people know. Eileen got it a little bit when she said Overtown was a great place or something that she said, and they was like, it is a great place. They booed the DeSantis guy when he said that the Trump library, that it's a museum and it's okay to have, like, they were getting his ass together. So I don't think he really. Somebody was like, "Read the room," like to him.
I don't think he could read the room. That was my point of saying he probably only has missionary sex and he's a droid. So the other young lady to the end, Alyssa to the left, and I think she was just like in kind of like a La La Land kind of energy. She wasn't horrible, but it was just like she just wasn't with it. It was almost like she was nervous, disheveled. You know what I mean? And when you're looking at leadership, there's no room for that. I'm sorry. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Point.
There's no room for that. We need you to be on your A game, and especially when you're coming to something, you're preparing to be there for something. It's better you don't show up there. You know what I'm saying? Than to come and be disheveled like that. So I would say that. And if I had to give kudos just to keep it even, like back to one, I would probably say, the guy on the very end, I mean, his English wasn't the best, which kind of reminded me of going to Walmart and shopping these days. But
that fucking part.
or getting an Uber ride. His English wasn't the best, but I think what I did I pick up on small things because I'm the kind of person I look at little things, So the fact that when he had the platform or he had the mic, he stood up. To address the crowd.
Christian Savalos.
All right, Christian Savalos. I like the fact that he stood up to address the crowd, and he was like cool under pressure. He didn't get involved with any kind of nickering or trying to knock anybody down. To me, that's a thing for me too. Like, I like candidates that focus on the issues and focus on what they could do for the people versus what somebody else is not doing or what somebody else did in the past. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not fighting against the other people. I'm fighting for the people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, and don't steal that because I might come back as a candidate. I'm gonna need all.
All
I need all.
We gotta document it if we see you steal it. Wait, what did you think about Mike Hepburn's and Kim Russell's back and forth? Because that was like a spicy moment of the night.
So I like, honestly, I like Ken. He's very composed. He's on
came
point.
out like
He
you
doesn't.
ain't finna.
Yeah, he didn't fall under pressure, and then he made a point. You know what I mean? He made a point in saying, like, you could say you could disagree with me, you could say that, but don't call me a liar. You know what I'm saying? So I like how he came back and defended himself that way. I thought it was like really good and strong. It showed his strength, and it shows like he'll stand up in the paint, and that, you know, he needed to definitely address that, because some people don't care about what their name or what their credibility is. So like, you know, like, I think that should be something that you care about if you want to be in a leadership role. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, hold up. You're not gonna call me a liar. You know what I'm
Yeah, I
saying?
love that he stood on it.
Yeah,
I love that he stood on it. And to me, that kind of showed like his balls in a sense. And here's the thing, when you come in certain communities, you got to understand the culture and how people rock. And our community, the Black community, like respects when you stand up for yourself.
Yeah.
So I feel like
for sure.
he understood it, and he showed them like, yo, I'm a type of person that I ain't gonna let somebody push me, you know, or just push me around.
Right.
But also too, to your point, I think Mike Hepburn had a hell of a appearance. I also too think he was making up for the fact that CBS debate that wasn't he wasn't able to be a part of that broadcast.
Right.
So he definitely rose to the occasion.
Yeah.
And ours is being broadcast. Like there are already hundreds of views on these videos. So you know, to his point, I think that he rose to the occasion. It was like,
he did.
I wasn't able to be able to share my platform then. I'm gonna take full advantage of it now. And he played up to the crowd, like, because he knows that crowd. And also too, I want to acknowledge what Kimberly Davis said over on Facebook. She's like, this needs to be like boxing. Some folks shouldn't be allowed to be in the final round. And I kind of like that idea in a sense, because there's so many fucking candidates. It's like, maybe it could have been
down,
you know, something where it's like, okay, you out. But the thing with that, Kimberly, it's kind of hard to do that because it doesn't make it fair. It's kind of like who gets to judge who makes it to the final round.
It's not like that. And I would say this too, just some advice, because as I'm watching and I'm seeing and I'm critiquing, it also makes me mindful of things too. Like I was watching, you know, Michael Hepburn, and you know, you also don't want to come across too arrogant to your audience. You know what I'm saying? Like as though like, yeah, I got this kind of energy, you know, but he has like a smirk, but I think it's his natural smirk. So I would want to hope that people will understand or see it the way I saw it. It's not him trying to come across like trying to be too arrogant, that it was just like a natural smirk, like this face that he makes. Because if you notice, I study people. He kept tugging that bottom button on his jacket.
I'm not gonna fucking play with you tonight.
No, I'm serious. He couldn't stop tugging that button.
Talk about Mike Hepburn smirking.
No, because listen, I'm the kind of person, you know how I got doing what I do? Because I say things that a lot of people think, but don't, maybe not brave enough to say, or like, you know how much times I be saying stuff and people like, oh my God, I was thinking the same thing. Watch, it's gonna come in the comments. But like, he kept on pulling. He was like, you know, giving that energy. But when I studied it, I was like, I don't think he's trying to like show out.
Yeah,
you know
maybe
what I'm
a
saying?
nervous thing too.
Yeah, I just thought it was like because he specifically was pulling that button. So I was like, oh, okay. I was like, oh, I figured it out. You know what I'm saying?
What is wrong with you?
Nah. It's all good, man. They loving us right now. But
you talk about,
but
you did the face too. So I
mean, I gotta buy them in. Like Mama Velveeta know what time it is. You know what I'm saying? Shatoya know what time it is. So I want to talk about Xavier Suarez.
Okay, let's go there. What did you think about him?
I saw some. I mean, so a lot of people are kind of tired of the older guard. A lot of people are kind of tired of the mafia, the family. So his son is currently, you know, for those who don't know, Xavier Suarez, his son is the current mayor of the city of Miami. So it's almost like if he wins, he'll be passing the baton, you know, on to his own father, who was already previously the like mayor of Miami. So it's like this whole recycling and like, you know, and not giving other people a chance, and you know, and all these different kind of things, you know. You know, but you know, if he's qualified and, you know, and he's the better out of the candidates, then, you know, he should have his due, you know, he should still have the opportunity. But I think a lot of people are already going to be like, oh, here we go.
I agree. I think nepotism is something that is rampant in you know, politics. And not saying that Suarez is not a good guy. Personally, I do think that sometimes we need to just kind of shake things up and see what other people can do. And sometimes too, it gives the perception of like you're part of this machine, or you're already like kind of baked in, or whatever this other regime was doing is just going to continue on.
And we saw that with our presidency with the Bushes. We saw that, you know.
So people are kind of tired of it.
Yeah, so I could understand that. Let's tap into, because we.
What'd you think about Eileen's performance?
She had a couple moments, you know. She had a couple moments, so I'll give that to her. But I think she may slip through by just being concise and humble. You know, so just keeping it real. I did have an opportunity to interview. I'm not gonna act like I didn't.
Me too. I posted mine as well, like that I interviewed her.
I had an interview with her, and so one of the things that she does use to her advantage is that I have no drama, I have no arrests, and you know, because a lot of the people who are in that lineup of mayoral candidates have priors, whether it's prior arrests, prior convictions, prior, you know, scandals and stuff like that, lawsuits, all different kind of stuff. You know, one of the people who didn't show up, and I don't think has showed up to any one of the mayoral town halls that happen in black neighborhoods that you mentioned in the beginning, is Joe Coroyo. You know what I'm saying? And you know, he's had a bunch of controversy and stuff like that, and he's running for mayor. I know his brother, who was the former, he helped me out early in the days when I was doing community stuff, and supported me and helped to fund some things that I was doing and some pop-ups and stuff like that, you know, when I was rocking out with the city of Miami. So but you know, that's his brother, it's not him, you know. But and I don't know Joe in any kind of way, but I'm just definitely disappointed that, you know, he doesn't find it thus far important to, you know, activate in the black community. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So let me, you know, I think did I forget anybody?
I mean,
I want to make sure I've touched everybody, just to be fair.
DeSantis, Higgins, Xavier, Mike, Russell, June Savage. What did you think of June? She was sitting next to Xavier Suarez.
Yeah,
they had a little back and forth going on. Like, my girl, I'm your girl, your hometown girl, your girl, home girl. You know what? Can I say this as a black woman? And I caught it in the comments. When a white woman or a non-black woman starts saying, girl, 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 I'm your girl, this girl, that, in black settings, black women immediately, our ass itches, because it's like, why are you doing this? Are you trying to, you know, cater to us? You
she has black friends.
Some of my best friends are black. So it just kind of was feeling a little bit performative, in the sense of like, I'm playing to the black community. I'm your girl, I'm your girl, I'm your girl. And it was like, okay, girl, like, everybody knows who works in corporate America. If you work around non-black people and you get that, hey girlfriend,
you know, and you know
it
what?
was giving that type of energy. And June, I'm not saying that that's what you was doing, but it was given that. And people didn't see what you did to me on the side when you told me to smile, and I was like, why do I need to smile?
And I don't work for you, so get out my face quick. So anyway, so this is what I would say.
You know, good luck to you.
Yeah, no doubt. So this is what I would say. Right? I would say that now that you said that, and now I'm probably gonna tie it in to the fact that she was being aggressive. It's kind of like that.
I'm in
black girl energy.
Ooh, that black scent, that black caricature.
What you talking about? You know, like now that you said, like, honestly, I wasn't thinking it. I was just gonna remember. I said, even before we started talking, I said she was or did I say that while we were off air? I said she was too aggressive.
Yeah, you said it off air while we were watching.
I was like, man, she coming in hot. She coming in so aggressive, you know? But now that you just mentioned that, you kind of have a point there. Like, I think I want to tie them both in.
It may
So,
be
and listen, what's her name?
June Savage.
Well, her name is Savage. Come on, you know what I'm saying? Miss Savage, you know, no knock. It's cool to take some of the things that we're saying as some Black criticism that you could use as you move forward, and maybe you do another town hall and you could kind of like tone it down and just talk. You know what I mean? Or maybe just Savage. You know, one of my favorite wrestlers from back in the day was Rowdy Randy Savage. You know, and he used to talk like this. So I mean, you know, maybe y'all related, or you know, you connect with that.
Stupid.
Nah,
she related to the wrestling man.
I mean, you know, she's kind of. You know,
never mind, y'all. We've been drinking. We've been in our cups. Y'all been in y'all cups too. But you know what? To your point, and I'm not saying, and we're not going to say that this is what she was doing. We don't know definitively, but we can speak to the fact that all of us know that when non-Black people come into our spaces, they feel the need to be a little more aggressive, a little bit more sassy. They need to be a little, and even to, you know, Velveeta Tate's point, she was like, I thought that as soon as she started talking. Like, we see it when you're trying too hard. Mike too, you know, even though that was your audience, we saw you were, you know, a little bit more, a little bit more chest out, like you were trying a little hard there, you know, putting on.
But I'm not mad at Mike.
Not mad at him, but I'm like, I caught it.
Well, Mike, stop pulling that bottom button on your jacket. And listen, I'm your brother, bro. So it's love. Just know it's coming from a place of love. I was noticing that.
Here's the thing. I want y'all to know this is just the beginning of how we're going to start doing these political town halls and reviews and feedbacks. So I hope y'all know. Get ready for it.
Yeah.
We're going to be giving it. And people, I love it. The comments are loving it. The comments are going the whole show. People will love this. And that just shows people want this. And you're not going to get this type of commentary and energy on the mainstream platforms, media outlets. You come to High Low News, you come to That Part Podcast for this type of real, raw, unfiltered commentary.
Yep.
So yeah.
Big shout out to Dwight, man.
Yes, Dwight did his thing.
Thank you so much, Dwight. Yes.
Your time is
the
up.
Master timekeeper. I love it. I think he enjoyed it, low key.
Oh,
for sure.
Totally
Definitely
enjoyed cutting off them.
Yeah.
Especially the numb.
Yeah. Well, you know. So
Dwight, we love you.
Dwight, thank you so much. I really appreciate you. I called you in the fourth quarter with 2 minutes left, and you came through for us.
Yes, thank you.
Like you always do. So thank you very much, and we'll be enjoying the Godfrey comedy show.
Yeah.
On Friday night. I invited them out.
Is it Friday night?
My brother. Yeah. You know you're always welcome. But Godfrey.
I gotta change my flight again.
You was gonna leave Friday night?
I was gonna leave Friday afternoon.
Nah, you gotta leave Saturday morning. You bugging.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Because we still gotta like.
No, I wanted to know.
Because we got a special interview on Friday. That's gonna be crazy. We can't tell you.
Yeah, we can't tell y'all yet.
But we're gonna need to figure that out.
Yeah. Coming to that.
Yeah, you gotta change that flight.
Okay, all right.
So sorry, Tontis.
That was God, because I didn't change it yet.
Oh.
You see, that was God.
Look at God.
Look at God.
Hi, Mom. All right, so we ain't gonna hold y'all because we know like this was a long one tonight. We're going on 2.5 hours. So really appreciate it. I want to take the time to thank our family and our friends and some of my new friends. That's in the chat.
Hey there. Bro.
Blame it on the alcohol. T-Pain performing tomorrow.
In Miami?
Yeah.
Y'all, do y'all like this?
No, tonight. It's tonight.
Where?
I couldn't go. It's tonight. He was at Hard Rock Live. I couldn't go because of the podcast. Yeah. So in the spirit of T-Pain.
Blame it.
Blame it.
Y'all, we gotta, you know what? When I'm in Miami, I think we should do it like this, PK. What do y'all think? What do y'all like about us being in person together?
I mean, do we really give a shit? We like it.
I don't fuck with y'all. We finna do it anyway, whether y'all like it or not.
This is a vibe. So we're gonna let y'all go. Sorry, because we will ramble for another half hour.
I know,
easily. Right? Thank you so much again to our family and to our friends. new friends.
Yes.
We really appreciate y'all tapping in with us. It means the world to us. Thank you for subscribing. If you haven't done so, please do so now. Thank you for sharing. A lot of people haven't got a chance to see this tonight. You could still share it at any time.
People,
And I also want to big up our producer, Derica, coming through, doing an amazing job. Big up to Munch.
yes, Munch, our live producer and director, All Like Minds Media,
Yep.
definitely killed it. We're going to be using him from now on.
Yes, we are.
From now and on, Insider. But yes, shout out to Munch.
Yes, big ups to BMW, Black Men Wins,
Yes.
all the sponsors, That Part Podcast, High Low News. Can you name the rest?
NAACP Miami-Dade chapter, Going Overtown Children and Youth Coalition, Florida Rising, Just Vote Period, High Low News, That Part Podcast, and of course, Black Men Win Together.
Yes. Amazing what we can do when we come together.
Collaboration over competition.
Yeah, for real. And we've been very mindful of collaborating and just not collaborate with anybody, but collaborate with the right people. And I'm so happy we did it, with them, because it really turned out fabulous.
Yeah.
And now I want to take the very last minute and a half that we have to end it at 2.5 hours to thank my amazing co-host who makes me so proud. Janae, you did a wonderful job.
Thank you.
So when you seen her grabbing me, if you were watching the little box at the bottom, it's because I was giving her props live while I'm watching it, because I watched it for the first time. You did so good. You looked amazing. You showed out, and you did some key things that my years in the business that I had to give you your kudos on. Stopping before the last question to thank the sponsors and everybody. Those are key little things right there. And yeah, I mean, I didn't even miss not being there because I was kind of like fanboying watching you, what I'm saying, do your thing,
Because you're OG to me. You are an icon in this business. Listening to you on the radio for all these years. So even though we are like family now, it's still something when you give me a compliment, especially in this business, because I respect so much for it.
And I appreciate it, and you deserve it. You really deserve
I
it.
appreciate that.
I don't gaslight.
You don't.
I don't know why people think I gaslight. For the record, I do not gaslight. I just want to say this real quick. I've got 10 seconds left. I'm a very polite and kind person, but I don't gaslight. I'd rather say nothing than to lie to you. Have a good one.
How do we tell you about an upcoming parade? Kimberly DM me. Kimberly Davis DM me.
High Low News.
Let me know about it, okay?
That Part Podcast.
Bye, y'all.
Just Vote Period.
We love y'all. Thank you, Derica. Love y'all. Thank y'all. Tantas, Julius, Velveeta, Auntie Lori, Crystal, Mama Kathy, Tamila, Kimberly, everybody watching. Love y'all, love y'all, love y'all.
You forgot somebody.
I know I did. I'm sorry. Mega.
Gotta have.
Derica, get us out of here before we say some shit we ain't supposed to say. Get us out.